Oh, mother of God, here we go. Here we go.
We're recording on
That thing. See, you're not even sure what it is.
Oh,
No, I'm just too busy laughing.
You.
I am corrupt.
You.
You.
Although, according to Obama,
I don't want to talk about him out of the gate.
the NSA is
Shut
our
the
friend.
hell up. I don't. I didn't bring a gun. I didn't bring a gun. I did not bring a gun.
How dare you?
Oh, it's cold.
We've been all over northeast Ohio, northwest Pennsylvania today.
Oh, sorry. That's better. Hi, John.
Hi, Darryl. Hi, Mike. Hi, Mike.
Don't ask. He is infectious. Okay? I've known you guys for 5 years, and I just got your names wrong. It's him.
And there's no cure for it neither.
No, I wouldn't want one anyway. No.
That's what sets us apart from the rest of the world.
Say something.
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 It says right there. Say something.
Something.
It's right.
Something. Right there it is. See, sir, there's something right there. Whatever that something is, nobody wants to know.
He's true.
Anybody.
There's something right there.
Yes.
As opposed to nothing?
That's right.
It's the word. Something.
Can we get started?
Hi, John!
Hi!
Mike!
What the hell's your... Mike! Hi, Dale.
He's getting better.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
folks.
you know, this is all because of that damn cartoon that Keith sent via email. Because I don't even know if you can call this ADD, because we haven't focused on anything
Well,
to get
first of
distracted
all-
off of yet.
We're trying to
First of
focus.
all-
Therein lies the problem.
First of all, in order to be ADT that we're infected with,
ADD!
we have to be adults. We have to be adults. That's the farthest thing that we are.
You had to listen to this all day.
No shit!
I'm sorry.
Since breakfast! 6 8 goddamn M! Son of a bitch.
At least it ain't an EBT card.
Holy shit, he got that one right! First time today! First time today.
Boy, I said, boy, you are pushing me to the limits of my medication.
That's my problem. I'm wearing down. It's time for another dose.
Oh, no shit. I hope you bring enough for everybody, because I don't think I can take much more. Hi, folks!
Now that the introductions are out of the way.
Wow, holy shit. I don't know what the hell.
Welcome to the madhouse.
This is probably the worst we've been in months.
Yeah.
Or as good as it gets. I haven't really decided yet. Welcome once again to Braveheart. 88.7 FM, Pennsylvania American Patriot Radio, the small station with a big mouth. And fuck, the big mouths are running amok. In several different languages and dialects. Exactly right. Tweet. Some more over there too. Darrow's been messing with what little bit of sanity I've maintained. I am your host, Michael Wagner. I'll be with you here for the next 3 hours during our Saturday get-together. It is, since we still don't have a current calendar, it is Saturday, January 18th, year of our Lord 2014. John, sit down and read. I'll hold everything until we finish the proper introductions.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sitting across from me is... Holy shit! It is contagious! I told you! Son of a bitch! I've been able to avoid this the entire day. I get in here... Fuck you. Knock it off! He's over there lighting fucking black candles and shit.
At least it's not lighting his farts like you did last week.
Don't give him any ideas! Anyhow. That goofy bastard over there with the Russian bear hat, which I we were going to do the whole Russian introduction gig, and we'll save it till next week, because it's going to be even colder next weekend. My friend, brother, and partner in all things mischievous, and the bane of my existence, the father of Braveheart Radio, Mr. Darrell Civic.
At least you got somebody to blame for keeping you alive this long.
I must say, life would be very, very boring without you in it.
Yeah, that is a fact.
And the one that we still like to confuse, sitting to the left as one might expect, friend, brother, and the computer tech guru here at Braveheart Radio, Patriot John, Mr. John Weber.
Hi, hello, how are you?
That's
Not
him.
till after I finish my coffee.
Okay, now the introductions are over.
Yeah. Kid
Mandy, laughing my fucking ass off, you guys. What the fuck? And Jack
Whiskey
replied,
Tango Foxtrot, yeah.
and Jack replied back to Mandy and tagged us. Same here. They're killing me. We don't know. We
I have no idea what prompted any of that.
Yeah.
It was just stream of consciousness, or subconscious, or...
Unconscious.
I can accept that. Well, we can't hit the broadside of a barn.
I didn't even attempt to throw it yet. That's the problem.
Oh, okay. We can accept that.
Yeah, we don't know what the hell's going on.
Wow. Just...
Total shit show. Love it. From Mandy.
Just so that you understand that.
That's just a sampling, and this goes on week after week after week.
I don't think to this degree, though.
To be honest, like I said, Darrell and I have known each other for many, many years. And even after all this time, the shit's just as stupid now as it ever was. I don't know how in the hell we maintain it, to be honest.
Even when we're riding together and going places.
It's often a sad statement that we don't have the recording going while we're in the car. Because we came up with some really great shit this
We
afternoon.
would
I don't remember any of it.
never have to do a live show. We can just plug and play the repeat of our travels.
That show weekends have a tendency to do that. And,
Well, like you guys say, when there's two of the three of us together, minimum, in any given scenario, the show never ends.
oh no, it's an intrinsic part of each one of us now. Darrell and I have been doing it forever. John, once you came on board, you fit in like you should have been here the whole damn time.
It's probably why we've been able to maintain what little sanity we have.
Now,
with what's
to
going on in
those
the
who
world.
I would
are watching
accept
and listening, I realize that what you heard in the past, 15 minutes or so, give or take, has no resemblance to sanity whatsoever. And that's probably a good thing.
Yep.
Because we have to deal with the stupid shit so much that if we don't lose our minds like this every once in a while, we go off on a 3-state shooting spree. Which in and of itself is not necessarily a bad thing, but we'll discuss that at a later date. Now,
When it becomes necessary.
indeed,
Only 3?
they're gonna catch up to us before we get past 3. You cannot outrun radio, especially when we're stopping to expend lead every time we stop. That takes time. That gives them a chance to radio.
It takes time,
Son of a bitch, here they come! Okay, yeah.
careful concentration.
Yeah, it gives us a chance to rest our trigger finger.
And that's a necessary thing. Anyhow. Beer.
Now that we got that out of our system.
Well, no, that's just momentarily purged.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, man, I'm not even sure where we're going to go tonight as far as...
You might as well start with a gun show.
Well, yeah, we're definitely going to do that.
We probably should talk on air about what you and I talked about beforehand.
And we will, if I can remember where the hell we started it. Oh, yes. My nervousness.
Your scared shitlessness.
Not at all.
I know, but...
You know better than...
I know.
You know better than that.
Of course.
I'm not...
There's no spiders involved today.
That's correct. I was about to say, I'm not afraid of anything. Well, I've already given the lie to that, so I had to modify that. And we'll talk about the ones that Darrell knows about here in a minute. Be that as it may. Gun show today. First time at the new location. The Catherine Rose Convention Center decided to say, no, guns are violent and evil and nasty and icky. So, we're going to ask the AO. Not a problem. Jefferson County?
Yeah, I believe it's Jefferson County and Jefferson
Yeah.
Town.
Yeah, Jefferson County Fairgrounds in Jefferson, Ohio.
No, that's Ashtabula County.
Is Ashtabula still?
Yeah.
I thought we crossed over.
Ashtabula is a very large county. North to south, it goes from the lake shore and down as far south as the southern border of Crawford County in Pennsylvania.
Oh, no shit.
It's a huge county.
Wow, okay.
Jefferson is in Ashtabula
Okay,
County.
so the Jefferson Fairgrounds, is that whole fairgrounds is just for the town. I'm impressed. Okay.
Nice building.
Yeah, we are at a very nice facility. I'm not sure, what, about 175 tables maybe now? Max.
Yeah, I think that's what he said, because it's bigger than the other one, and
Half and again bigger than it was before, and plenty of vendors.
yeah,
It was nice to
filled
see.
right up. There were a couple empty tables for some no-shows, but you always have that no matter what you do.
Hey, life happens.
And what you do is, the next year you don't, or next show, you don't take their reservation.
Or you ask them, what happened last time, and
Ask for,
yeah,
get a non-refundable deposit,
something like that.
yeah.
You've had quite a bit of experience hosting gun shows, so back in the day. But this one, very, very well attended. I haven't seen a crowd like this come to a gun show in quite some time. Nice cross section of items, a lot of fighting weapons. A good amount of sporting weapons. You could pick up, if you wanted a 22, you could pick them up easy.
Now that I'm not looking for one, of course.
Yeah. A lot of guys were selling them off because they can't get ammo.
I got plenty of ammo, and I got the gun to shoot it,
There you go.
but it's not the one I wanted. What I ended up with was a semi-automatic because that's all they had. I wanted a bolt gun.
I think there were a few.
Yeah, there were several of them. Some of them looked like they were the old Mossberg 22 training rifles from WW2 and
Yeah.
on.
The one I got rid of and didn't know what the hell I wanted and what I had and sold for way freaking cheap. And they're all trying to get my attention. I didn't know what that was all about.
I just didn't want to come right out and say it because he was talking to the guy that was buying it, but I wanted to get his attention to tell him, too cheap, too cheap, too cheap.
Yeah, I probably could have got double what I asked for it.
You could have at least 50% more minimum.
Yeah, because it was a collector's item, and to me it was my old squirrel gun. What the hell? And since now I've become a brother of the squirrel, I will no longer shoot him unless he's large and fat and slow. And then he's going in the soup pot. I don't give a shit. Your thoughts on the show?
There again, well attended, especially since it was a new location. And the fact that he was able to fill up with vendors the first time around too.
In other words, to quote the illustrious Sandra,
I have to pee.
Why don't you be a man about it and just come right out and say it?
he did, just did. Had to be prompted, but he just did.
So,
I'll
okay.
come right out.
I don't have a gun! Fuck!
Let him put it out, we'll take care of it, it won't go back in.
Ah, yes!
Guys,
I have become a moil. and I've had a few, well, just, hold on. No,
Parkinson's setting in?
Diet, okay.
No offense to the victim.
Yeah, I think that was probably a really poor taste. Damn,
Would anybody expect anything different out of us?
I would expect better than that from us. That was, but even by my standards, that was. Lord, I apologize, and we were the starving pygmies in New Guinea, amen. Anyhow,
Would that be with the Fakawi tribe?
don't get me started. Don't get me started on that fucker. That is an entire skit, and we will work on that later. Shut up. Don't get ahead of me. Don't get ahead of me. All right. Anyway, continue with the gun show.
Anyway, a lot of AR-15s there. In fact, I made a comment. I saw almost as many AR-15s there as I did down at that Washington County gun show. Which
Both on the tables and being carried by people into the building.
Yeah, Yeah.
We could have outfitted quite a sizable force with just the ARs that showed up.
Nice.
More SKSs than I've seen
Yeah.
in a long
A
time.
few AKs there.
Not as many as I've seen in other shows, though.
Yeah.
You can definitely tell the preferences in these areas.
And there was not a plethora, that's it.
That word.
Beautiful plethora of ammo, but there was
That never is.
a little more ammo for the 7.62 by 39 and the 223 or the 5.56 there
Right.
than there has been in shows in the past. And all around, for what we sell, we did rather well. If I do tomorrow what I did today, rank right up there with some of the better shows.
It's very promising. This new location, a lot of good vendors, filled the room.
Yeah.
And the crowd filled the room.
Yeah, and speaking of the crowd, when you go to these gun shows as a vendor and you set up, in each area that you go, you will see certain people at the gun show every time it comes.
Sure.
You'll get to recognize them because you talk to them, you see them going around. This time, because it was so close to Asheville, we still had that same crowd, but this time there was a whole bunch
Yeah.
of new faces.
The hell? They doing hand puppets?
No, just seeing how far I can be back here and still get on.
Sit your ass down, bitch.
Yes.
Boy, I said, boy.
Get a donut and sit down.
Speaking of donuts, and
Nice segue.
I thought you might. As soon as John sits down, we'll continue with this one. Speaking of donuts, Popo was definitely in the house this time around, and I have acquired John disease. As soon as I saw the first cop in there, my radar was turned on full. I don't trust them anymore. And they weren't doing anything wrong. They were, and John and I talked about this, on the squirrel cam earlier. I see the one guy in there, and none of them were dressed like your stormtrooper, like you will see in some departments. These guys look like cops, which is a pleasant change instead of an enforcer. Now, the younger guy that was in there was definitely wearing a vest. I call it body armor, soft body armor,
That's a standard part of the uniform these
Yeah,
days.
well,
And I can't blame them.
But not all of them were. There was an older guy in there. I'm assuming it was either his partner or another cruiser that showed up, and he wasn't wearing one. Sheriff's Department was there, and I really didn't get a good look at them. I just saw, they were conversing with each other up towards the entrance. They weren't pestering anybody. They weren't checking weapons coming into the door. They were letting the gun show people handle that aspect. To where, okay, is it open? Okay, you got a flag? Good. Go ahead on in. But I think it was more, this being the first time in this location, they were checking it out to see traffic, the volume that it was going to be, how many people something like this was actually going to attend, because this is now going to become a regular part of their lives.
Every month now.
Yeah. And my attitude, at first, I have a tendency to overanalyze everything. And so at first, I really didn't notice it until I said, okay, now why am I bugged by them being here? I'm actually doing more analysis now than I did the whole day. Just seeing them in there had my radar up. And that is definitely John disease. Because John doesn't trust anything with a badge.
Nope.
For the most part.
Nope.
And I got to admit, I'm getting damn close to that point. From what I've been seeing in the media lately, and just from my own personal experience over the years with the old whack 'em and stack 'em file, on up to the modern day where there's no sense doing it, we could do an entire 3 hours of Popo behaving badly.
Yeah, the thing is, you are getting to my point. However, you're not there yet, because
No.
you just said your radar got turned up to max. My thinking is their presence is an imminent threat to my safety.
No. See, it obviously is not.
Well,
I understand.
over time,
I understand you feel that way.
over time, had I been there, over time that would have subsided, but initially,
Mm.
I would have felt very, very threatened by their presence.
I didn't feel threatened. I was just watching them. It was more like, okay, what are they doing? Are they here to be dicks? Are they here to make a purchase? Are they here to just observe? And that's all they really did, as far as I can tell. They would just observe and say, okay, this is what we are going to be having to deal with as part of our routine duties. All right, cool. They didn't. They weren't messing with anybody. They weren't interfering with anybody. It was just like, good size, well attended. This amount of traffic we're going to have to deal with, because it does come down through a residential side street in order to get to the facility, and well, there's quite a bit of traffic moving in and out of there. No more than would be for any other event held there, but this is a new one. So
Yeah.
checking out and then just saying, okay, we got to do this, got this. If there's an emergency here, equipment's got to come through here, that sort of thing.
And because it is, like you say, on a side street,
Mm.
it has to cross a couple big, major intersections in town, that they may,
Somebody not paying attention?
They may have to put somebody out there to direct traffic or whatever,
Well, I think maybe a total of 2 city cruisers and 2 sheriff's department cruisers rotating around from time to time during the course of the show. Gathering intel, I'm certain.
Oh, absolutely, they're gathering intel, there's no question.
But it's I don't consider, after watching these guys and everything, after my initial suspicion, these guys were doing it just as a matter of their job. Just because if something does happen that's ugly, they got to know where they got to go, and, okay, how many people, that sort of thing.
Question,
Yeah.
is there any, that you know of, is there any school zones that you gotta drive through to get
We
there?
did not see anything.
No, at least not in the area, not the way we
And the
can.
reason I ask that, I commit 2 felonies every single day.
I'm sure.
Yeah, gun-free school zones, yes.
Because I drive through a school zone on my way to work and coming home.
Buck 'em.
Not necessarily saying that this is gonna happen,
No, I understand where you're going with this.
but you never know. I mean, technically, by legally
If they-
having a firearm with me and driving through a school zone, I'm committing a felony.
It's bullshit.
It is bullshit.
And it's generally up to the officer to do something about it. Now, if they suddenly decide they want to shut you down or shut you up or whatever, they could conceivably use that.
Yep.
Absolutely. But I don't expect that to be a possibility. I really don't expect them to use that. They'll find something that's a little more hard to defend
Egregious.
against.
Or they'll manufacture something.
Indeed. That's exactly what
I'll end up raping my daughter or some stupid shit like that.
That's one of their favorite tactics, and we've talked about that many a time. But as far as today's show is concerned, once I saw a uniform in there, my first response was, all right, why are they here? What the hell do they want?
Yeah.
Now, I never used to be like that. But with everything I've seen and we've talked about here, once the uniform shows up, I'm saying, all right, what the hell do they want? What are they doing here? I take an aggressive stance.
Mhm.
And then I purposely start dialing it back. All right, let's just watch. Let's keep an eye on them. What the hell are they doing? They weren't screwing with anybody, I was pleased to see.
Were you surprised?
I hate to say it, but yeah. I expect them to be at the door, being, Joe Enforcer, looking at everybody that comes through the door. What do you got there?
None of your damn business.
Yeah, pretty much.
Am I being detained?
Pretty much. But that wasn't the vibe I got from them once I realized they were in the house.
Did they were they keeping to themselves, or were they
No, yeah, they were interacting.
talking to the
They
crowd?
were talking to everybody.
Were they?
Yeah, they were bullshitting with the guys at the desk, with the occasional, their local guys. And they were talking to their friends as they came into the gun show.
They were they were going around to the different vendors and stopping at the tables and talking to the vendors and stuff, my personal take on it was, I too get a little suspicious when they show up, but in this particular case, you gotta remember, small town, small police department, probably the town would not tolerate bullies on the police force. if you wanna get that way.
Sure, yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
Give them another 10 years and the feds get a hold of them, why, that might be
Or
a
if the
different
if the
story.
town continues to grow. It's
Yeah.
kind of like what's happened with Meadville. And what we used to say about our living in a kind of a little protected enclave here.
Mhm.
Our cops were, everybody knows everybody here. You know all the guys, you grew up with them, it's no big hairy deal. As the town grows and the population becomes more suspicious of each other, they're also going to be, the cops are also going to become a little more anonymous. They're no longer a buddy of yours that happens to be on the force.
Yeah.
They are a nebulous them, or they.
Yep.
And they lose that connection to the
They
community.
basically they lose their personality. They lose the person that
That you grew up with.
that you
went
grew
to
up
school
with,
Yeah.
good way to put it, and they become an enforcer.
Yeah. And I don't know how badly that happened here in Meadville yet, but I know it will happen if it hasn't already. It's a matter of time. This is a much smaller community, and so it still has not happened there. That and the fact that the sheriff's department in Ohio is an actual law enforcement
Yeah,
agency.
in most states they are.
Yeah. Pennsylvania, I think there may be one or two more states in the union that are set up the way we are. More's the pity. But
Yeah,
it's a different animal.
I think judging by what you said, what you've told me, I think in varying degrees, and I don't mean this to sound paranoid or anything. It just is what it is.
Sure.
They were there gathering intelligence, in no certain order, to find out what they're going to have to deal with on a monthly basis.
Sure.
As far as traffic patterns.
Sure, indeed.
And things like that. And two, to see what kind of people are attending, both in numbers and quality and quantity.
Yes.
And three, little more nefarious, but maybe finding out,
Who's got what?
who's got what. Yeah, and probably, I would imagine, not unlike you two when you're at a gun show, they were probably gauging the mood of the people. I would be. If I was a cop that was there, I would be.
Okay. That's legitimate.
Yeah, oh,
Thinking
yeah.
that
If I was a cop, I would be judging the mood.
walking into a gun show in uniform and seeing how many people stiffen up.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And they probably picked you right out.
Oh, I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did.
But yeah, if I was a cop and I was there, I would definitely be doing that. Absolutely. I mean, that's even before I got into this whole mess with you guys. That's part of being situationally aware. So they were probably, in varying degrees of nefariousness.
Mhm.
They were probably gathering intelligence of all kinds.
Logical. Like I said, I never used to worry about such things. It's just with it. Having them show up, I expected them to be dicks, and they weren't. They weren't. They were on duty, and because their job allows them to go check shit like this out, they took some time to go check shit out. So
Sure.
who knows if they're off duty tomorrow? They may
How
come
many?
in to buy.
How many?
Like I said, look, maybe 2, maybe 3 locals. I'm not sure because the younger guy was there most of the day on and off. He may have been assigned to it. And there was an older cop local, and as far as I could tell, there were 2 sheriff's department cruisers there, and I really didn't notice them except when they were sitting in their cars outside the gate of the fairgrounds.
Now, I will add this. Last I knew, I don't even know if the same sheriff is in power in Ashtabula County. But last I knew, the sitting sheriff was rabidly anti-gun.
Indeed.
Yes.
That's
Well, we'll
interesting.
have to contact our contact over there and
Yes.
see what he has to say.
He
about
would
that.
issue, it was my understanding that he would very grudgingly issue carry permits, and let the recipients know in no uncertain terms he does not approve. He only did it because he had to.
Sucks to be him then.
It sucks to be him, but just
Yeah.
food for thought. The sheriff deputies were there, and the sheriff, if it's the same sheriff that was in a couple years ago, the sheriff is very anti-gun.
Have to look into that. Have to
Yeah, we'll have to
check our
go-
contact and see what he knows about the
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good. All right. Anything else, Darrell?
Not on the gun show, but I will let a little bit of a tidbit out. For those who may be local listeners, even though they can't get us locally on the radio, we may be up and running by next weekend.
Hopefully.
We
The part that
hope.
we're waiting for is here, just has to have a couple things soldered to it so we can make connections and, we'll be ready to start.
At long last.
Monday,
No.
I was going to go to the mountains, but Monday I'll pick up the pieces and I'll put it together and see how it goes, and then maybe I'll go to the mountains on the towards the weekend.
There you go. Will you be here for next week's show?
Yes.
Okay. Now, we were talking about buying another piece of equipment. However, let's see what happens here first, because we're talking sinking another $550 to $600 into.
Yeah, that's why I was letting this out of the bag, because I would like to start making announcements on our local FM station
Sure.
when we get it going, to get some help to defray this, because between you, me, and the fence post, Terry, with his hours and money, have sunk over $1,000 into trying to get this
Oh, hell,
thing back running.
I've done that practically myself.
And,
Yeah, as a side note, Terry, if you're listening, understanding you've been very busy, I still need that information we talked about, you to send to me.
I'm going down to see him on Monday to pick up the stuff, so I will try to ask
Okay.
him for it.
Okay.
Okay, cool. All right, so long as we're talking about the FM side of it and the last week's rant that we had about people who seem to be a little impatient and so on and so forth. Apparently, we got a couple people that they got disturbed by it, that it wasn't aimed at.
Well, it was, I won't say disturbed in the sense that, well, screw you guys, it's not like that. A couple of our more loyal contributors
Yes.
in various forms. Basically, I mean, they reached out to me via email and Twitter, and said they felt bad because they felt like they could do more.
Oh, no, man.
And-
Okay, that isn't where I thought you were going.
Well, I am going to get there.
Okay,
I believe. I believe I will anyway. I want to make it perfectly clear to those that do participate, contribute in various forms. All of you good people were exempt, and that was what the list was. A useful contribution is not just in dollar signs.
So,
We have our people on Twitter that are largely responsible for the followers that we have now.
indeed.
Okay. And some of those interact with us week in and week out. Okay. We have emailers that on a daily basis send me good stuff. What I'm trying to say is, you guys do enough. You really do. You do enough. And I'll boil it right down to say, the fact that you're there, that you listen, put up with our shenanigans, and you contribute in the ways that you do, validates our existence. And that is the best thing you could do for us.
Where we were shooting at were those who listen and don't do anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now bear something in mind. Going off of last week's rant, when I kept saying, what are you doing? What have you done for liberty today? Now, doing what you can for us, and we'll soak that up every day of the week, okay?
Right, we will.
Because what we're trying to do here, you enhance everything that we try to do here.
Exactly.
But what I was, and this is just on my own end, I'm asking you, what have you done to secure your own liberty? You're listening to us. Great, you're being informed. What are you doing with the information? I think that might have been where some people were starting to wonder what I was talking about.
Maybe.
I'm thinking that might have added to it. What I'm saying is, if you listen to us here each week, understand what you heard, and do nothing with it, that hurts.
It hurts you, it hurts everything.
And the ones who bother me the most, I mean, if you understand what's going on and do nothing, that's on you. The ones that bother me are the ones who listen, understand, and then expect us to ride to their rescue when the shit all comes apart. Well, you told me this stuff was coming. What are you going to do about it? What are we going to do about it?
We're taken care of.
And I've been running into those.
Yeah, it's called beans, bandages, and bullets.
Been talking about it forever. If you show up on my doorstep with nothing in hand, I do not know you. If you show up with bare minimum, okay. We wish you would have done better.
We can build on that.
Yeah, exactly. But I was talking about more the entitlement mentality. And when the entitlement mentality infects the patriot movement, which is anathema to it, you got to wonder.
Yeah.
Because, okay, well, we've been trying to warn you what's coming. What have you done to safeguard what you got? What have you done to safeguard your family, your friends, your loved ones? What have you done with the information? Or have you just thought that, well, we'll get them in 2014?
Yeah.
And if you really believe that, I can't help you.
To understand, we're not backpedaling from last week. We meant every word we said.
We just want you to understand what we said.
For those that maybe felt that we were a little harsh toward you, if you don't deserve it, you don't, and we apologize.
And
we did not intend.
If it didn't apply to you,
yes,
we weren't talking about you.
And me personally, the only thing I want out of this is to know that I made a difference.
It would be nice.
And the fact that I hear from you guys all the time tells me I'm making a difference.
Yeah.
That is the best thing you can do for me personally, and I know it matters to these two as well. And to reciprocate, we treasure our listeners and dare I say our friends that all of you are. And
we're worried that you're not going to take what we've told to heart, and it's going to end up being too late.
And I want you guys to know the best thing you do for me is to make me feel like I make a difference. I'm reflecting that back on you good people, because you, by being there in whatever capacity you are, make a difference for me and for us. We just want you to understand those of you that are here week in and week out and talk to us during the week in whatever form, Twitter, text, email, whatever.
Sure.
That that is validating to me, and I don't know of any other medium or participants in any other medium that interact with their listeners this way.
No, I've looked around and this
Not
is...
too many, not even on the Patriot side are there too many that interact with their...
Not in this manner, not in real time and not...
That's
like
what
this.
you guys mean to us.
No. Because we do consider you to be part of our tribe.
Yeah.
And we talked about this before, building tribe. If something happens to you when this house of cards comes tumbling down, that's gonna...
We're going to take that personally.
We care about what happens to you guys now. We wouldn't be doing this if initially there was trying to stop our country from falling into the abyss. We can't stop that now.
All we can do is soften the landing.
If even that. Now all we're trying to do is to save as many people as we can, at least give them a fighting chance to come out the other side. I don't know how much more we can really do, except we find new people every day. Hell, at the gun show today, we're still finding people that are partially informed or have a partner or spouse that is just laughing at, like, you still believe all this other stuff, and then you run into guys like Daryl and I, and we've been doing this for 20 years, dude, here's proof, and I pull up the computer, this is this, and this is that, and did you know about this, and then you see
The lights come on.
more like, oh shit,
Yeah.
and hoping it's, like I used to say about Glenn Beck, when he would get a hold of something, he'd send his people out to investigate, and the whole time he's saying to himself, please don't let it be true, please don't let it be true, please don't let it be true. And his people would come back, Glenn, you're not going to be happy about this. Shit. He wouldn't say shit, probably. He might. It's true. Now what do? So if I talk about this openly, I lose my show, and I don't get any information out. We don't have that constraint.
Obviously.
We don't have that constraint. We have tinfoil hats to prove. We'll go anywhere. All right?
Yeah.
The hell of it is, and once again, not to pat ourselves on the back too hard, in all the years we've been on the air, we've only had to retract one story. One.
And that's the one, that we found ourselves.
Yeah. Great thing about that is, there ain't another media source out there that can match it.
Nor would they admit to it. No, I'm sorry, I wouldn't.
So,
Bottom line is, last week's event notwithstanding, which I will stand by until the day I die, because there are people out there that needed to hear it. And we opened it up with warnings and the list, and you guys don't need to hear this because you're always there. Like I said, I've had a couple of people from Twitter. I had one good friend via email. You people, you good people, you do enough. You make it. You make what we do worthwhile.
you do enough for us.
Yes.
Okay? What I'm concerned about now is, what are you doing for you? We don't want you disappeared. Because you've proven your loyalty and to what side you belong, you are members of the resistance. All right?
And once you cross that line, you can't go
You
back.
can't go back, no. They won't allow you back, and you wouldn't want to go there anyway. You are part of the resistance, and as such, what have you done to safeguard yourselves? That is my primary concern right now. And again, my pet peeve from last week is those who, having been awakened by us and other things that they've seen in their lives now that they have the rest of the picture, are expecting us to come riding over the hill to rescue their butts because, well, I've been waiting for you guys.
Why?
They assume that we're coming. It's the
We're
same.
not the cavalry, folks.
It's the same theory as what happened to Daryl with the one gentleman. And I'll use this as I won't mention any names. I'll use this as one example. Just expected because Daryl is supposedly, in his mind, has all this influence in the community.
Oh,
Why aren't you helping me? And we discussed this last week. Even to public officials who would side with Daryl, I wish there were more, and with our beliefs, to state so publicly is to make sure you never get elected ever again.
political suicide.
Yep. Yeah, that's it. Which is why I still got to applaud Brad Rowe. Because he stood up and said, not just yeah, but hell yeah, in a driving rainstorm, kick-ass dude. You're going to find those tag-alongs. You're going to find those that will badmouth you and your prepper mindset and your militant attitude and your, I'm not backing down, I'm not backing up one more damned inch. And you'll be laughed at and derided until everything does come falling down. And then those are the first people that are going to show up on your doorsteps and save me. Now, the analogy I like to use is if we live long enough to actually liberate one of the FEMA camps. I'll be standing there with some butter knife rifles, and when I see somebody I recognize come out, I just look them in the eye and said, do you get it now, asshole? Take it. If I ever see you without a weapon in your hand again, I'll kill you myself. I'm sorry. That's the way it's going to roll, man. That's the way it's going to roll.
But
I'll send the fucking herd myself.
the fact of the matter is, you don't look at us as your savior, because we're not.
Oh, boy.
God's 2,000 years ago sent their savior. We are no way in shape.
Which is why I'm not worried about losing my life.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about losing it here. In fact, if I die in combat, kick ass. I'm out of here. It's your problem now. Woo!
Yes.
Latest tacos, hasta
You'll take
lasagna.
care of it.
The biggest threat to a
Yeah.
tyrannical government is a patriot that does not fear death.
I don't. Now, do I want to die? No. No. I still got steak to eat, beer to drink, motorcycles to ride, and hopefully women to find. But
Dying is easy.
dying is very easy. It's amazing we're able to stay alive on a daily. I had this experience most of this week, and I'll talk about that in a minute.
I live here.
You should.
I feel,
Don't do that.
I feel that the only reason why I'm still here is because God has interceded at least twice.
Yeah.
Okay? I won't go into details, but at least twice He has interceded, and those have been in the last 7 years.
No doubt.
Real quick,
Yeah,
we do have at least one new listener lately. Came to us over the Christmas break. I don't know where he's from. In his tweet to me, when he started following us, he said, "You guys have been in my backyard this whole time, and I never knew it." I don't know who he is.
No.
I don't know where he's from. But tonight, I know he's in South Carolina.
Where it's warm.
But we'll listen and try to get you yahoos some new listeners from the South.
Well, he got that right.
I accept Yahoo as a badge of pride. Hell yes.
This gentleman, he goes by the name Miller on Twitter. I don't know who he is. I really don't need to know, but thank you, brother, for listening.
It brought up a couple of curious things for me. He said we were in his backyard, his own backyard, and didn't know it. So does that mean you are a part-time resident in the north in the summertime and go south in the winter?
No.
Are you a snowbird?
Yes. Or would. Okay. you don't have to tell us where or what, but, you know, you could clarify that. Are you a former snowbird? Otherwise, you know, just out of curiosity.
Yeah, he is,
That's an awful big backyard if he lives down there in South Carolina.
he checks in once a week, generally, on Friday or Saturday, you know, before the show, wanting to know if there's gonna be a show.
Cool.
And, I don't know what he means by backyard, but,
Backyard.
I gotta mean I gotta assume that means he's close. I mean, Mr. T says he's in our backyard,
Indeed.
and we know where he lives.
Right.
Could this guy
I
literally
know
be in
we have,
Meadville, or
I know,
what?
well, I know since we contact with some of the 3%ers that we've got a group of threes in the Pittsburgh area,
Mhm.
including the Steel I-beam,
Mhm.
who I admire a lot, but we'll talk about that here in a little bit. That dude's going hard. He's going seriously hard. Yeah. Warn new listeners,
Might as well.
because as take the opening 10 to 15 minutes of this break.
Yeah, seasoned listeners.
Oh hell! Because you have no idea what you're going to be. If that is the only taste you get, you got no idea what we do. You have no idea. That's definitely a part of it, but you
now
have
it's open.
no idea. And there will be second hour smokage.
Yeah.
There will
Yeah.
be a tribe-wide lightation maneuver coming in the next hour. So we're gonna take
Here to that.
Here, there, and all over the damn place. We're going to take a little bit of a break, and we'll be back here in a little bit. You're listening to Pennsylvania American Patriot Radio, Braveheart, 88.7 FM. We'll be right back.
Give me a short one.
You want a short one?
Yeah, give me a short one.
Mike, choose your weapon.
So while you're up, John,
Yes, sir.
would you like to pick up that lighter there that Mike threw on the floor?
Yes,
It's
I
over
can.
here.
Dude, we have to turn it down. YouTube's gonna bitch at us. I couldn't put last week's show up, mainly because Doug didn't come through very well, but because we left the thing on, and we don't want to get bitch
I
slapped.
need a monitor somehow, so we got to figure out how
Oh,
to
I
run
know,
this.
I know. I'm working on it, man. I trust me.
I don't know what the options would be. That's all. Okay, give me a few minutes. I gotta get this up
Okay.
here. Let's see here.
I know where my son is tonight.
Let's see that too.
Oh, I was talking to you. Yes.
Oh, good.
Oh, we can talk?
Talking is not a problem. Just don't ask me questions.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
My son's out at Scott Cornell's.
That's dangerous.
Yes, it is.
I don't know more who for, but
I almost anticipated in the first hour a run from Scott Cornell's to here with a bottle of wild turkey.
Oh, mother of God.
oh no.
Because he told me he was going to bring me in a bottle one of these days.
Are we all gonna light together?
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
we should. The lightation maneuver should be.
Okay.
Well,
Do we have enough lighters to cover it?
Let's see if this is going to light. Yep.
Yeah, this one. I'll take my place as the third and
You,
wait.
there's some stick matches over there. I prefer to use the sticks. Oh, man. Oh, no.
Where's the bris? John's got it. I got it.
Where are they, Daryl?
Oh, there's...
Oh, there they are. They're in the bag. As they should be.
And for those of you that are listening,
And watching.
one of the
Peace.
one of the things that you need in your prep is Strike Anywhere matches. They seem to have come off the shelves in most places, so. But they're still available, and in fact, I'm thinking about trying to find a place where I can get a case of them to take to the gun shop.
What's the matter? You're contemplating something, or...
No, dude, I've got about 7 or 8 different thoughts running around in my head.
Oh, okay.
Nothing of earth-shattering importance.
All right.
That's just the way Mikey rolls. See if I can actually finish the freaking cigar here.
Too bad this didn't have.
Last couple of weeks I've only gotten halfway through it because I haven't been paying attention.
Yeah, what are we gonna talk about tonight?
Yeah, we really haven't got there.
I got a couple of things I discussed with Mike here. You can take a quicker.
We probably should touch on Obama's diarrhea of the mouth yesterday, telling us how we shouldn't fear the NSA.
Yeah. I'll tell you what,
They're friends and neighbors and all, after all.
Yeah, you know more about that than I do, so like I said, I've been tuning him out big time.
And there was an NSA, a former NSA employee that was rather high up that basically came out and said, "We are a police state now." And
I did see that.
you did, okay, that was on the Drudge Report.
I didn't see that, but.
Yeah, that was on the Drudge Report. I mean, let's face it, we're not, by the way, I will be taking that class next week. I initially balked at it because I found out they're gonna fingerprint us. And then talking to a friend at the fire hall who took the class and got his permit, said, why worry about it? Fingerprints ain't nothing now. They can get you any way they want.
That's true.
Yeah.
Which kind of changed my thinking. I'm like, okay.
My thing
You guys
is,
see, I used to have that problem. In order for me to continue driving a truck, I'm fingerprinted every 4 years.
Yeah. And my thinking was, they're not gonna fingerprint me unless I'm being hauled away in handcuffs. And all that, but.
my fingerprint's been on file with the federal government since I was 17 years old.
And the cost is $85 for the class, but when you send for your license, you got to send Utah $51. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Like I was reading, I didn't really catch that.
Yeah, that's the way it works.
No, I was reading, I didn't catch what you said.
The cost of the class is $85.
$50 for the permit?
Yeah, 50. You have to send Utah a separate 51, I think.
Okay. I would like to have it just to have it, but I don't know. Okay. This is what we've been talking about all day. About shutting down the EBTs.
Shutting what?
Shutting down the EBT cards.
Oh.
There might even be 2 stories there. I just scanned the first one and printed them out.
Going back left. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to the second hour, Pennsylvania American Patriot Radio, Braveheart, 88.7 FM here in lovely Meadville, Pennsylvania, where it is currently...
Damn cold outside.
You want to repeat?
Boy, I timed that perfectly.
Not bad!
You want to repeat that? I don't think anybody heard you.
It's 14 damn degrees outside. And it feels like 5.
It doesn't feel that warm on certain parts.
Well, if you quit dragging it in the snow, I mean,
I can't help it.
Remember, John, this is a family show. Only Knuckles are allowed to drag in the snow.
It wasn't bad. I'll actually give him that one. And John's been here. There's 3 tracks going through the woods. Anyhow, what do you call Bobby? Ask her.
What? No!
All right then.
She'll lie just for the fun of it.
I was waiting to see how you panic.
If you're listening, Bobby, hi.
Hi!
She's not. She's on her way home from work.
Yeah, we ain't broadcast. Anyway.
She wouldn't hear it anyway up there.
Well, if this new equipment works the way it's supposed to work,
Man.
Be nice.
you
It
just
would be
might
nice.
get that far because we might get more juice out of our juice. I mean, out of our...
We got you.
yeah,
We got you.
You know?
Well, folks, as you know, and long-time viewers and listeners, we partake in alcoholic beverages. I gotta do it. I gotta start from the very... tonight's program is brought to you by the letters A, T, and F. And also brought to you by Coors Light, the official light beer of the Pennsylvania American Patriot Radio Network.
Hey, man. That was mine.
That's why I put it
Don't
back.
spill it. On camera!
Is he wired or is he wired?
Now!
Okay, Curly.
Shut the fuck up. Alright, I may get tangled up in blues, but beer I do not knock over. You can wipe the tears out of your eyes now.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Alright, we do... Let's see. A, it's accounted for. T, folks, this is where we are going to have our lactation maneuver. And F, well, there are various... There's an F. There's an F over there.
Exhibiting proper trigger discipline, I might add.
Well, that's it. Pat yourself on the back, John. Not with the John, you goofy. I knew he was gonna.
Shouldn't have fed him the line.
I would have been actually disappointed if he hadn't.
Yeah.
So tonight, smoke if you got them, folks, and we certainly hope you got them because we like to partake here of fine smoke. So, if you're having a cigar, John has already, we've already used the Briss. I do recommend a double-bladed guillotine cutter. That's proper station equipment, mind you. And while Daryl is going to use a match, please let the sulfur burn off before you ignite, thusly. Then toast the foot lightly, make sure you get a good burn, then puff and rotate. As he is doing before burning his fucking fingers. Okay? We toast. In order to ensure an even burn, and we puff and rotate thusly.
Now we're going to have to open the window.
Viewers on Squirrel Cam, we're going to disappear into a fog here in a minute.
At least we're damn sure going to try. I'm watching it on the squirrel cam. Look at that! Look at that!
Nice.
But, wow. Holy smoke! Sorry. You got a good even burn going on your smoke there. So, folks, smoke them if you got them. Tonight I am smoking a Victor Sinclair with a Connecticut shade wrapper. I do believe John is one of our, let's see, what do we got?
Dominican Gold.
Dominican Gold from Smoker Friendly in a Maduro wrapper, as is Daryl. Normally Daryl would be firing up the pipe, but he wanted a cigar tonight, so it's going to get a little chilly in here, but at least we have our tobacco to keep us warm.
We have our
And-
cigars to keep us warm.
And antifreeze.
Yes, and antifreeze.
Very nice. This one's got a really good cloud of smoke here. This is properly aged, well rolled, excellent draw. I'm a happy man. This one, I want to see this son of a bitch will stay lit. Can't always go out.
That requires some effort on your part. Problem is, you get too busy talking about something.
A cigar should not go out as easy. Well, see, once again, this is the Victor Sinclair is a long filler smoke, which means the tobacco leaves run the entire length of the cigar. The smoker friendly in the Maduro wrapper, with the exception of the wrapper and the binder, that is a short filler cigar, which is the clippings from other brands to make the blend. Now, short filler, it'll get to a cutoff point and it'll burn out sometimes. That's why it's harder to keep one of those lit. Long filler is going to keep on burning. I've seen you, though, with a pretty sizable ash on your short filler.
I work on it, yeah, I keep it going.
I've been pretty impressed with seeing as how you're still considered a noob as far as cigars are concerned.
Yep.
But much like my adopting your attitude towards Popo, you've adopted my attitude towards finer smoke.
Yeah.
You've actually
sure
sort of
have.
enjoyed it.
I do enjoy it. Real quick,
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to another one of our faithful listeners and followers, Shep. He
Shep! Haven't heard from you in a while, brother.
he is apparently running a little bit late. He said, "Shit, damn! I've missed you guys. Just loading. Listen to BraveheartRadio.net. You want to, believe me or don't."
That sounds like...
Concise and to the point, yes.
Good to see you, Shep.
Yeah, it's been a bit. Haven't seen you in
Now,
either.
I believe Sandra is here. Mandy is here because we've heard from her. We've heard from Jack. We have not heard. Sandra did retweet when I started the scroll cam when we got here.
Sure.
She retweeted that, but we haven't heard from Sandra lately tonight. So, Sandra, dear, if you are there, chime in.
Give us a
Did you
shout.
lit your cigar yet, Sandra?
I love watching her smoke.
Mhm.
She really seems to enjoy it, and is still occasionally surprised by the smoke that is a little more powerful than what she's expecting. All right, what do we got?
One
Yeah.
thing. Mandy, I want you to know I did find that clip that you wanted me to find about the pilot names. She wants that into the best of, which we are still working on. It is coming together.
Well, it is coming together, but once again, I want to put it out to all of our listeners in the archives, to the archives, to our nightly listeners, everything. Go back through the archives of last year and find your favorite bits. Because I know from week to week, you probably let them slip by. But we don't want to just put together what we think is good.
Yeah.
Right.
We want to know what you like.
Yeah.
And
we've had a couple now. One from Jack. A couple from Jack.
yeah, and
one from Andy now.
I still got a couple from earlier.
And Sandra asked us to put something in.
Yeah. So we do have some, but we want to give you a little more time to do this. And be perfectly honest, there's a couple that John and I are looking for that we haven't been able to find yet.
Yeah.
That we want to add to the collection.
Yeah, I've been looking.
Sandra, yo, I'm here. No cigar though. Frowny face.
Oh.
Glad you're here, Sandra. That's all that counts.
I may have to send her a care package. Send her down a Padron sampler. I got my latest catalog from Thompson Cigar, and they have a 5-cigar Padron sampler for like about $40. And
I might have to grab that.
yeah, I'll get you the catalog. Well, you could probably go to Thompson Cigar online, and it'll be there. So if you get a chance to check it out.
Bobby will kill me. I won't be allowed to smoke them in the house. Every time I come home from a show and I've had a cigar, she says, "You smoked one tonight, didn't you?" Yeah.
We sure enough did.
No, I don't think there's any evidence to that.
No. Are you watching this? How can you prove it?
I don't think that.
Well, let me tell you, no visible evidence, but when
unless you got infrared, brother.
when I've had a cigar during the show and I get home, the dogs won't even jump on me.
Really?
Yeah.
Anti-puppy device.
Yes.
Well,
You know? There's something to be said for that.
I wonder if that will work on werewolves.
I'll let you know.
Squirrel. Squirrel. There was a guy that I used to work with kind of an annoying son of a bitch.
Don't hold back, John. Let's know
It
what you really
seems every
think.
workplace has those.
And he seems to have more of them than most.
Yeah.
Sandra said, LOL, I'll be stoned all weekend. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, Patron does seem to affect her that way.
Anyway,
Definitely worth it.
20 years ago, when you were still allowed to smoke at work,
Oh, shit.
yeah,
I'm surprised you're old enough to remember that, John.
I worked third shift, and there was a guy on there, not really all there, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a Swisher Sweet, just a cheap off-the-shelf cigar.
That's where I started.
Okay, and I'm sitting there puffing on it, and he walks over and he starts, God damn, what is that? What the fuck are you doing? Blah, 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 blah. What is that you're smoking? I said, pest repellent. And sure enough,
Wow.
the very next words out of his mouth were, I'm out of here.
It worked, didn't
It
it?
worked, didn't it? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's also, well, how many times have I used this? I'll hold up something innocuous and say, this is an elephant repellent. Really? Do you see any elephants in here? There you go. Proof! Proof, damn it! Proof!
Must work.
And you can do that with anything, which is a great thing. The only
Anything that's not there.
thing- The only thing I'm worried about is I'm going to look over my shoulder and there's going to be a fucking elephant. And if that happens, I'm running.
If that happens, you better puff harder.
Holy cow.
He's leaving now.
Dude, you're puffing like an old steam engine over there.
Woo! Anyhow. Yeah, this is definitely putting it in the air, man.
In the chat room on Ustream, funny, I think I can smell those stogies here, and I'm in Nebraska.
He's where?
Nebraska!
I believe that is Emily. Yep, that is Emily. She is in Nebraska smelling our smoke.
Kick ass! Then hey.
Now you can't say we never did give you nothing.
We sent you some elephant repellent.
On the internet, at the speed of light.
Exactly. Are there any elephants where you are now? No? There you are.
You can thank us later.
I can't do a straight face. Nice. All right. Let's try and get through some news here, or what passes for news. Let's start with some local news. I was going to say this for a bit of funny, but let's do this anyway. This comes to us courtesy of the Meadville Tribune and Mr. Keith Gushard, which is a fan of the station. Great to know. Dateline Meadville. While it turned out to be a false alarm, there were tense moments when what was thought to be a gunshot was reported near Randolph and North Main Streets just before 2 p.m. Wednesday. Middle of the afternoon? All right. Meadville police rushed to the area after a customer at the Pampered Palate restaurant. Okay, Pampered Palate. I know where this is. It's kind of a cliquey little college joint.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what I was trying to explain to you.
Yeah. Called police to report hearing a single gunshot behind the restaurant. I know. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I would have been a little paranoid in that area. All right. Gotcha. Meadville Assistant Police Chief Michael Out. Don't know the gentleman. Assistant Police Chief. I don't know who he is. God, I'm getting old.
He might have just been freshly promoted because the sitting Meadville Police Chief just retired in June.
Okay.
And I can't remember his name. Forgive me.
Dave Stefanucci.
Yes.
Dave Steph.
Yeah, he
The
retired.
officers from Meadville Police and the Crawford County Sheriff's Office. Yes! They're actually getting the police work. Great. Way to go, Nick.
You mean they actually got the dust shaken off their uniform?
Oh, now you behave there. We're big supporters of the Sheriff's Office here.
Well, I know we are. That's
Search
why
the
we
area,
do that.
including nearby homes and apartments in the 700 block of North Main Street, but they found no evidence of any shots fired or any other crimes. As a precaution, First District Elementary School, it's right across the street, yeah, was put into lockdown, not allowing anyone in or out of the building from 2 to 2:25 while officers searched the area. That's fine. I can actually support that because that kind of shit happening in
If
this
there's a
town.
shooter running around?
Yeah.
Yes. But log the school
As
down.
long,
if
if, now,
inside,
if
no.
it's inside the building,
No,
unask the AO.
yes.
But, okay, the school has 397 students in grades kindergarten through 6th grade, plus staff, according to the Crawford Central School District. First district,
Wash your mouth out with beer.
that's all
Eye teeth are covered, you can't
A
see
little
what you're saying.
footnote, that was my old grade school.
Long time ago, hold on a second.
Yeah,
Holy shit, it's been there since before electricity?
yeah.
Alright.
We did have a steam generator though.
Most of the old buildings here had, were heated by steam, it was great. Alright, and see, Meadville Medical Center's Liberty Street facility, the hospital's main building located about 2 blocks east of the area, as well as the Grove Street facility, the hospital's outpatient services building located about 5 blocks, were also put in lockdown. Alright, officers talked with several residents in the vicinity, as well as an employee at the Pembroke Pallet, but got no confirmation of a gunshot. Quote, the lady living next door to the Pembroke Palace said she heard a loud sound and her house shook, but she didn't know what it was. Okay. We talked to the employee, and he said he heard a loud sound, but wasn't sure if it was a gunshot. Okay. Towton said Meadville police have not had criminal incidents in the area around Randolph and North Main Streets prior to Wednesday's call. So, officers returned to normal patrol duties at around 2:30 p.m. Darrell Civic was not available for comment.
You know, when I first...
You knew I was going to do that.
Yes, I know it.
Okay.
when I first saw that story,
Yeah.
my very first thought was, I swear to God,
You're going to blame Darrell?
where was Darrell?
Yeah.
I swear to God, that was my
Darrell
first
Civic
thought.
was not available for
Where was Darrell? Now,
You needed plausible deniability, brother.
I have a theory.
So does he. Well, go ahead.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I want to hear yours. I already know his.
Number one, it was backfired. A vehicle backfired.
Possible.
Okay.
Severely out of tune.
Number
yeah.
two,
enough to shake. Yeah. Okay.
number two,
Yeah.
it was a geological phenomenon.
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 Ta-dee-dee-dee-dee.
Phenomenon.
Phenomenon. Ta-dee-dee-dee.
That
Phenomenon.
That's the song I want.
Okay.
it was a geological phenomenon.
Now he's doing my trick. We just steal my
And you
kid.
get after me?
Yes.
That is very rare, but due to the recent cold snap, has been happening quite frequently, and it's called ice quakes.
I've heard about that up in Wisconsin, but
Yes.
I really didn't do any investigation into what it was.
What it is when that real cold snap, the scary thing, the polar vortex.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We got another one coming.
When it dove down into the northeastern United States.
Yeah, like the one that's going to happen next week.
Yeah. Everything, the ground was wet but unfrozen.
Indeed.
This thing comes down and did what's called a flash freeze.
Sure.
Okay, everything
Whereas I
froze
same thing.
right now.
Yep.
An ice quake is a result of a rapid freeze of wet ground, and basically what happens is the Earth, it's very shallow, and we're only talking within a few feet of the surface. Through the stress of freezing, fractures,
Okay.
and it sounds like a gunshot, and it feels, if you're close enough, like an earthquake.
Hence the reason that woman's house.
Yes.
Daryl?
Well, my theory
Yeah, an
was,
alternate theory, but that one's just as
and
good.
this goes along because I would say it's probably more rare in the wintertime for this to happen. But because of the recent cold snap and the amount of warm water that was going down through the system, there could have been a sewer gas buildup.
Could we? Yeah.
You find that more in the summertime when it's warm, the water's warm, and the air is warm. It allows it to ferment and give off gas, builds up a little pressure, and it relieves itself.
And if anybody knows anything about gas, it's this man.
And relieving himself.
Indeed.
We had to.
That's why my eyes...
You're not gonna feed us something like that and us
Do you
not...
realize what I've just done?
Yeah, you've...
I brought up a fart joke.
Yes.
Yep.
You fluctuated.
Welcome to the club.
My job is now complete.
You can sit there and pout all you want to, but that doesn't take away from the
I'm not
fact...
pouting, I'm disgusted with
Yes,
myself.
you did it.
I am now...
Fully corrupted.
Another mission successfully
Oh,
completed.
shut up, you!
I love it.
Where's the seal of approval?
And he sounds a little hoarse. Maybe it's because of the...
No, that was a seal. Okay. It was not a little horse. I can't do it. I could do a little horse, but I can't do it right now.
Okay, maybe it wasn't a horse, but it was Wally the Walrus.
It was his little pony, maybe? I don't know.
I don't have a little pony, I have a unicorn.
His antler's in the wrong place.
And it...
Booyah!
I don't know if I just got slammed.
Home run, grand slam.
Oh, shit. There we go. Everybody has been dissed in this conversation at least once. Take that.
If you say so.
Yeah, you have been.
Okay,
Yes,
I'll take your word for it.
then please do so, please.
Continue on, John.
Now.
What the hell was I? Oh, Jack. Or not Jack, I'm sorry, Shep.
Shep.
You have to listen. These guys are just great. Just try them. I did once on advice of MZ Billy. That's
Good.
Mandy. And became addicted. We are an addictive drug. Laughter is addictive.
If you can deal with the lowbrow humor that flies out of here, the 8-year-olds are definitely
Now that you're contributing to the fart jokes.
It's not going to happen often, and usually I'm embarrassed to tears.
Shep,
Shep.
if I don't know if you got to hear the first hour. I'm assuming you didn't. But the first actually 15 minutes of the show.
Oh my God.
We had Mandy and Jack going, what the fuck?
When
Okay.
we can get those two to go what the fuck, you know we're at the top of our game.
Exactly.
We sharpened our pencils.
Oh my God. There was stupidity ad nauseum.
It'll be on YouTube tonight.
Wow. Yeah. Shit. Okay.
Got to.
Rewind. Never mind.
Ice Freedom on Ustream said, don't smoke Swisher Sweets. That brought back an ugly flashback. Maybe that's a story we need to hear.
No doubt. Inquiring minds want to know.
Ice Freedom. That's one of our regulars, but I don't know who it is.
Okay,
No.
that's fine. I don't know.
If they.
I started with Swishers when I was holding back in my bachelor days when I would hold the weekly poker game. Penny ante poker game at my house, quarter keg of beer for 5 of us.
Only
started
a
out
quarter
with,
keg?
That's all we needed.
I started
we
out with-
killed it in 4 hours. All right. Yeah.
I
There
started
was
out
always
with,
somebody in the bathroom.
I started out with the little cigars.
Barotis?
In the
Little Italian Barotis?
no, these were in a cigarette pack. I think they were called Winchester.
I remember Winchester. I think they still sell those.
And,
But I started.
then I
with
graduated to Swisher.
I started out with Swishers, and I actually found some Swishers with a natural leaf wrapper, which was interesting for a while. You can't hardly find them anymore. But then, about that time, you started seeing these little polymer cases on convenience store counters with a few Dominicans, no-name Dominicans, Don Nobody, and Tiamo, which was Mexican tobacco. Didn't really like the Mexican tobacco. It's gotten better, but I started trying those, and then I found, once I started driving truck, JR Cigar down in North Carolina, and I started buying my smoke there. And since then, the tobacco shops and the occasional cigar bar would show up, and pretty much never turning back now. All right, so we got the local news out of the way. Let's see here.
That's all there was.
Well,
Small town.
Yeah, pretty
That's
much.
the only thing that struck my fancy.
Yeah, and like I said, I really didn't get a chance to.
One thing I
research.
wanted to,
Okay, go ahead.
I wanted to touch on though about this.
We do need to stretch things a little bit.
The story said that it was, that the police checked homes in the area. I'm wondering to what extent?
Well, probably knock and ask him a couple
I
questions.
mean,
you heard
was it exactly that? Just, did you hear something?
That's the way our police department's.
Or was it all, Boston?
No,
You know,
not all of Boston. or
You
we'd
couldn't
have
do
heard more.
Boston in this community.
We'd have heard more about
I hope
that.
not.
No, you couldn't.
No.
Trust me.
My
I know that area.
My wife works down at C&J, and if there was a little Boston pulled, she would have known it.
Yeah,
Because then it'd been, people would have been talking about
I
it.
hope that couldn't be pulled off.
They were
You
doing
can't.
their job.
You really can't do that around here.
Interviewing neighbors, okay, that's one thing. And I probably should know better that wouldn't happen here, but
I understand your thoughts, but as of this point in time, one, lack of manpower to do such a thing. All right. Two, different mentality. You're just not going to have that here yet. Yeah.
qualify that.
Yeah. We are still living in a bit of an enclave as far as that's concerned, and I'll take every damn day we can get for as long as we can get it. So.
And there's a perfect example of, folks, how, yes, we are first to criticize, but we're also the first to give them kudos for doing the
Exactly.
job the way it should be done.
Absolutely.
We are very fortunate in that respect. And I gotta believe that part of it is the fact that we do say what we do here, and those...
Keeps them honest, to an extent.
It might. I know.
We have listeners in the police departments in this area.
Yes. I know.
We do have listeners to this program who follow us.
And I know they probably can't wait till we get back on the FM dial.
Yeah, because once we went off, I've heard it coming out, I've heard it on the radios in police cruisers around here, listening to Braveheart. Oh, yeah. And, which is why I'm not nearly as concerned here as some other cities would if I was living elsewhere. They know what we're all about. We've repeatedly told them, look, we're not your enemy. Don't make us one. And we warn them about the rot. When we talk about the stories where Popo behaving badly, we say, if you see this going on, stop it! Do something before it infects the whole damn department. And for the most part, I gotta believe that we've had a little bit of an influence in keeping that away from us.
That would be wonderful. I would love to believe that.
Unless I miss my
I
guess,
would.
they handled themselves like a police officer should, handle the situation the way it should be without going in there with tanks, AR-15s slung over their shoulders,
Sure.
and bazookas in their hip pocket,
No doubt.
And that.
Hey, if they got a hip pocket bazooka.
Yeah, we want a
Where
couple.
can you get a few?
Can you drop a couple on the sidewalk for us?
Oops, fell off the back of a truck, man. And what can I say?
Find yours keepers.
No doubt. I've always wanted to come across no, not being a complete dick, but a military convoy that slid off the side of the road. They didn't quite get everything.
That brings me to a story, but no, I won't talk about it now.
Later.
All right.
Okay, you want to do it now?
I'll
Do it now, because this
ago-
next story is more of a national.
Years ago, there was a fighter plane being ferried across the United States that crashed here in Crawford County and landed in a guy's swamp at his farm just up here by Sagertown.
Remember that one. Oh, I remember this story. Go for it.
The Army came in, because that was before there was an Air Force. The Army came in, cleaned up as much as they could, and packed up and left. Well, here a few years ago, they drained the swamp, and in the process of draining the swamp, they found 4 20-millimeter machine guns.
Oh! Toys.
Finders keepers.
Yep.
Were they still in workable condition?
Yep.
Oh, baby. Where are they now? Wait, never mind. We don't need to know. They're out there. That's all that matters.
So they called the military. The military didn't want them, so.
Military didn't want them, which is the great part about it. They didn't want them. Really? Honest and for true? You followed me home, Mom, really?
Yeah.
Can we keep it? I'll feed it and water it every day.
That's what you said about the dog. Alright.
Yeah, but this is a 20mm cannon.
Yeah, a little bit different.
So, anyway.
Okay.
Nice.
Just a little caveat.
Squirrel!
History.
Yeah, indeed. Now, this next story, a little more of a national significance. I was wondering if this was going to get off the ground. Folks, when the Boy Scouts decided to go all pederast on us,
Oh, yeah, I
and,
forgot I had that one.
hmm?
I forgot that I had that
Oh,
one.
I saw this one in the pile. And decided to accept, openly gay scoutmasters. All right. There was a lot of scouts were pulled out, and there was talk of a new group being formed. New scout group honors Christian values, kind of like the first one.
Yeah.
Wow, what a concept that is.
No doubt.
This comes with courtesy of Newsmax.com. A new Christian-focused scouting group. Christian-focused scouting group. That's what scouting was in the very beginning. It's just,
They're
Yeah.
going back to the roots, basically.
okay, let's see if this is going to work here. Formed as an alternative to the Boy Scouts of America, has gotten off to a rousing start since its launch on January 1st. Trail Life USA has seen an explosion of interest, forming more than 500 troops in 44 states.
That's a
Group's
good
founder,
explosion.
John Stemberger, an attorney and president of the Florida Family Policy Council, told Newsmax. Stemberger, yeah, said a new group of boys was needed after the Boy Scouts of America decided to allow gay members, that's mine, we'll get to that in a minute, allow gay members to remain in its ranks. Gay members, gay scouts, these are, okay.
Uh-oh.
You thought I was going to be able to get all the way through the story? No. First of all, scouts. Daryl, you're our resident scoutmaster here.
Was, yes.
Yeah, but you remember, what is the average age for Boy Scouts?
Generally it starts after Cub Scouts, which is done. We're usually done at about 10. Okay. Then they go on into the Boy Scouts.
Okay, and scouting, okay.
It goes
From your
on up to
experience-
17 or 18.
Okay, when do most fall out, if they're going to? Because there's only a handful that actually make it all the way to Eagle.
I didn't have that problem.
Well, you wouldn't have, because you were teaching shit that nobody else did. Small unit tactics.
How to survive in the wilderness, how to be able to fire, how to pitch
Shit that scouts are supposed to freaking know.
Yeah.
He taught it. Hands-on.
how to shoot a .22, you know.
Oh my God, guns! Anyway, I'll get off on this. Well, shit, let's see what, who knows, they may be in the story if I actually read the thing. Alright, let's see. We see this as more than just a boys program. We see it as a glimmer of hope to restore our country and to build leaders for tomorrow, Stemberger said. We want to see a shift in our culture back to sanity, back to responsibility, and back to building men who are going to actually lead their family, lead their spouses, lead their culture and society. Stemberger said the group's goal is to turn boys into men. Oh, that's anathema to everything that this country's about now.
You mean they gotta take their ruffled panties off?
Several comments that come to mind, I'm not using any of them. Alright. Make them productive and godly husbands, fathers, citizens, and leaders. Admirable. Somebody's going to do something to sabotage it.
I've got a footnote after you're done there.
Gotcha. There's something magical about the outdoors for the boys. Hanging with other men around the campfire without iPads, iPods, gaming. So many who grow up without a father. Well, that's supposed to be an honorable thing in today's society. Yeah.
Who wants a father?
Yeah, one of them, well, damn Neanderthal knuckle dragging, anyhow. It's one of our long-term side goals, to do strategic outreach in inner cities where high rates of fatherlessness continue. Boy, you've got an uphill fight there, brother. We are excited to rebuild an institution that has taken a philosophical turn we don't think is compatible with the training of young men. That statement right there. Rebuild an institution. This is a direct challenge. It's not that this is just an alternative. This is a direct challenge to what Boy Scouts of America is doing. Let's see. The organization will offer education and adventure programming for Boy Scouts from Cub Scout age through 18. There we go. Partnering with groups like the American Heritage Girls. Okay, I remember that. In an effort to bring families together around a similar worldview. Leaders are required to sign a statement of Christian faith, not attached to a particular denomination, but with each troop stressing its own denomination-specific customs and theology. The group's website notes. Okay. Most troops will be chartered around a church, which is where the old Boy Scouts used to be as well.
Churches and fire departments.
Basically, they're coming back. All right. Let's see. Yep. Hang on. Stop it, you savage.
Stop it, you.
Yeah, you have to know how to do it. Because I can read that. Stop it, you savages.
Was that for us?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Uh,
I'll bury my
Come to us
tomahawk.
from San Francisco.
I'll bury my tomahawk.
We're going to say the Queen has a whole new meaning. Anyhow. That was one. No, hold on. That was one of the many characters I do known as Ubiquitous Gay Guy. So, there's a bunch of them. Let's see here. Easy, pal.
Don't keep commenting, I'm gonna keep laughing.
I think I keep saying something. Alright. Anyhow, we continue. As a Christ-centered organization, our faith is woven throughout the program without being necessarily religious or churchy. Program materials read from religious requirements and youth-led outdoor worship to more in-depth discipleship opportunities. Adult and youth members receive biblical instruction and training in righteousness. This sounds like the old Boy Scouts of America. They basically took the stuff that dates back to the mid-40s and decided to run with it.
Well, they've got the right idea.
No doubt. Let's see. According to its inclusion policy, all boys are welcome irrespective of religion, race, national origin, or socioeconomic status. Our goal is for parents and families of every faith to be able to place their boys in a youth program that aims to provide moral consistency and ethical integrity in its adult leaders. Now, there apparently seems to be a caveat. Let's see. The Trail Life USA website says, however, that Mormons would not participate in our program because of our specific statement of faith, which holds a belief in the Trinity, which is not in step with Mormon theology. Okay. While Jewish youths are welcome as members, those adults who do not recognize Christ as the Messiah are not candidates for leadership roles, and Jewish organizations would be precluded from chartering a Trail Life group. Interesting. Okay, the organization is also clear about its beliefs on sexuality, noting that a relationship outside marriage is sinful. That's biblical. Its policy on homosexuality puts it at odds with the Boy Scouts of America, and man, isn't that a hard thing to say.
Now, yeah, it is.
Where gay members are now welcome, although gay troop leaders are still not allowed. Want to bet? Do you want to bet?
He missed that point because that's part of the problem. How many they got, I don't know, but they're allowed now.
Yeah, well, let's see, because you're talking from 10 to 18. All right, so 16 maybe, I'm questioning that. 17 and 18, if you've been led down that path, you've seen that being chosen, or something has seriously gone wrong with your programming. Yeah, I'm probably going to catch hell for that. I don't care. Let's see. And where we got? I'm trying to figure out where I left off here. The basis for the program's ethical and moral standards is found in the Bible. Okay, that's where the old Boy Scouts used to be. In terms of sexual identification and behavior, we affirm that any sexual activity outside the context of the covenant of marriage between one man and one woman is sinful before God, and therefore inconsistent with the values and principles of the program. Plainly stated, there should be no ambiguity here. To a youth who is unclear or struggling with thoughts about his own sexuality, the group notes its materials that it will seek to support him, offering up prayers and biblical understanding. Okay. We do not exclude a boy who confides to a leader that he has experienced some same-sex attraction and wonders what that means. Same-sex attraction is not in itself a sin, as it is rather a temptation. The rules read, it is what you do with that temptation in thought and in action that is a sin. That's also biblical as well. We would counsel a boy that he should not allow his feelings to turn into lustful thoughts or consideration of a gay lifestyle. We would also counsel a boy that we cannot always control our thoughts on our own, but that by the power of Christ, we have the power to overcome sin in our lives. Also biblical. And right down the line. Okay, anything more here? We got another page. Okay. Pretty much, it's going back to the old rules of the original Scouts. Seeing as how the current Boy Scouts of America has completely lost their freaking minds.
They've lost their way, and that's an
Big time.
understatement.
Big time.
Okay. Better
Now, Daryl.
work on that cigar.
Yes. Hold on.
He's out. He's out like a light. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7.
What the hell are you doing?
8, 9. Knockout. Your cigar is out.
But not wrong. Wait a minute. He's getting up to his feet. Then again, you're right.
Anyway,
This damn lighter is cold. I gotta warm this bitch up. Go
what I
ahead.
was going to say about back when I was in Scouts, I started out in Cub Scouts as a den leader. Then I became a den leader, assistant scoutmaster. Then I became a den leader, assistant scoutmaster, and scoutmaster. And then I went from there to Boy Scouts, in which I was assistant scoutmaster, and I became a scoutmaster. And at the time I became a scoutmaster, the Boy Scouts were considering allowing women to be scoutmasters. I could not handle that. Not that I'm a sexist. I'm sorry.
But there are
Right.
certain institutions that men
A woman
only.
cannot teach a boy how to be a man
Right.
because they don't have the mentality.
Right,
They
but,
don't have the thought processes of a man.
They're not wired that way.
Indeed. Now,
Right.
I'm not saying that they have nothing to contribute, but you cannot teach a boy how to be a man by putting... We talked about this before.
but they did have a separate program
Yeah.
called Girl Scouts.
Yes, indeed.
That's where the women need to go and teach the young ladies to be young ladies.
What a concept that would be. I haven't seen one of those.
Okay,
Which
now-
now Girl Scouts are teaching all about lesbianism.
Yeah, that word. But
If you were looking for political correctness, boy, you stumbled into the wrong pub.
when I was a scoutmaster for a troop here in town, and I'm not blowing my own horn, but I
will.
helped the boys get the necessary merit badges and oversaw their Eagle Scout projects to the tune that I was turning out about 1 Eagle Scout a year, sometimes 2, because we provided the counselors needed for the merit badges.
That's pretty extraordinary.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is. I was really
Now-
hoping you were going to mention that, bro.
Okay, now, the other thing that I wanted to mention, up until recent times, when the Boy Scouts have gone astray, we had several presidents of the United States, and I can't name them, but I think there was at least 4 of them, who had gone through Boy Scouts and became Eagle Scouts, okay, and then proceeded, like I say, to grow up to be fine leaders of this country. So, the system has gone astray, and when they started pushing for women, that's when I decided to hang it up and go about some of my personal endeavors that I'd like to do. And there again, I'm not trying to brag, but I also want to give the Boy Scouts the credit it is due for the old Scout system, because they did have at least, I believe it's at least 4 Eagle Scouts that ended up being presidents.
That's why some of your Soviet bloc countries believed that Scouting was actually a paramilitary training group.
Well, if they followed me around, they'd probably
they had every reason to believe it on your part, absolutely. Just for feces and ha-has, seems how we're on the topic here. What are some of the more unusual things you used to teach?
Well, I taught firearms, marksmanship and safety.
Which didn't used to be unusual.
No. But today's standards it is.
Oh yeah, my God, guns!
I taught them how to cook over an open fire without cooking utensils, using a stick to bake bread over an open fire.
Good stuff.
And among other things. And taught them how to use an axe, how to pitch a tent, how to dig a latrine, how to keep the critters from coming into your camp at night by burning the cans that you opened. Mind you, I said burning the cans to get the residue
Oh,
of
the
the
EPA's
food.
gonna come down on you like a sack
Oh,
of shit.
they can go screw an apron.
Oh, I could,
Now, why'd you have to bring Michelle into this?
Yeah,
oh, I was gonna go there, but I wasn't gonna, but.
I'm sorry, I did.
Yeah, you
I
did.
did.
Yeah, you
And
did.
we have a
now,
story
why
on
did
that,
you
actually.
why did you ruin my whatever? Because now
You can't even get the words out.
Because now it makes me want to.
Now you got Michelle in the picture here.
Anyway,
Well, apparently, and ladies and gentlemen,
citizenship
yes,
in your community, in your nation.
civic teaching civics.
What a concept.
Wow.
In history. History of your
Real
country.
history.
Real
That's
history.
the
Diluted
revisionist
revision
crap.
stuff crap.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you get to be a little older and you live back before that shit was being rewritten. And,
You know what we talked about the memory hole here, folks.
yeah.
We're having whole generations get ready to be flushed down the tube and rewritten so that kids will never know how this country was actually founded and what our people used to be able to do. Now,
And-
somebody please do it for me. Like that Pajama Boy comes to mind.
And
Pajama Boy comes to mind.
Yeah.
Sitting there in his PJs, with a hot cocoa.
And for my efforts, I was...
I don't have enough ammunition.
I was-
Yeah, a gallon of gas and a match.
Yeah.
I want to see a flannel fucking burns.
For my efforts, I got a lot of thank yous from
Sorry.
parents, especially some that were college professors. When I taught them how to cook bread on a stick, they couldn't believe it was done, and they kept coming back for more.
Yeah, something so simple.
Yes.
Something so simple. I've done that.
Yeah.
It's pretty damn cool.
And
What?
but the Marine Corps League
Yes.
made me Citizen of the Year for 1 year.
This is the man who's supposed to be a threat to the community.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, these days he is, because he taught all this stuff.
He still knows it. And still teaching it year in year.
Yeah, well.
Fuck you.
It's tough toenails, Feds, if you don't like it.
Yep.
Grow up and get a set.
See, therein lies the problem here. You can take away his ability to earn a living, but you can't take his knowledge from him. Nice try. Epic fail.
We ran across somebody else that went to the federal re-education system to come out that didn't learn anything.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Our connection over in the Ohio.
Yes, the Ohio.
We will be contacting here in not too distant future, I think.
Theoretically.
So, but that's basically all I got to say about the Boy Scouts.
Yes.
Back when I was in, it was a good organization, up until the time they started wanting to bring women in.
I hate to say it. No, I don't really hate to say it. That's when it started. Creeping feminism. And boy, has it gone downhill beyond that. Call me a Neanderthal, I don't care. I'm badge. I'm gonna wear badge.
Like I said, I don't want to sound like I'm sexist, but women, you got your own group, it's called the Girl Scouts. Stay out of the Boy Scouts, of course that's too late now.
We have to do something to keep these boys from becoming men.
Damn women, you already have an extra rib. What more do you want?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not fair, man. Not fair. All right.
I think God knows.
7:54. All right, let's figure out some way to kill off the next few minutes here.
I think if God would realize how the women would change things in the world, then he probably would.
There we go.
What's that?
It takes you long.
Squirrel, yes.
Takes you long time to read, dude.
Well, I'm trying to read 4 squares at one time, and
That just got retweeted again just now.
And there it is. How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet Let us find out.
Java Head
Who?
retweeted that.
Somebody who's, okay. Hang on. Charlie, and four others have followed me. Who the hell ain't I following? Never mind that. We'll get to that later. All right.
Apparently, Twitter user Java Head enjoys the show.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry about that.
Let's put this out to the new. We haven't really done a PBS either.
No, we haven't.
No, we haven't. We'll do that at the top of the next hour. We'll make it fairly quick. But I do want to put out this is, if you are a first-time viewer and or listener,
We're
first
sorry.
of all, we're sorry.
Yeah.
There's so much. This program is unlike anything else you're ever going to find because it's never the same twice in a row for us. It's not about what's topical or what's in the news. It's whatever is sticking in our craw at any given time. We are politically incorrect. We are irreverent, occasionally juvenile, frequently profane.
You
changed that up.
I was
for a
going to
reason.
say, you...
I changed that up.
Yep.
Our juvenile tendencies tend to come out in bursts of epic proportions, and then we get serious.
All of
more
the
often.
first 15 minutes.
Indeed. And then
That sets the
we're
tone.
basically, and everything else on the planet,
Ready to kill everything.
pretty much kill them all in the gut sort of mind.
Exactly.
Not a bad idea.
It's not up to us to forgive them. We just arranged the meeting.
Mhm. Now, in the next hour, we are going to get a little bit more serious. This is a topic that we've been talking about here on how the excrement is going to hit the ventilator and the 3%ers are going to have to step off the porch with full kit and say goodbye to your loved ones because you're probably not coming home. Here we go. What do we got? We got something else here from real quick from Philip.
Flip!
A number of politicians, including, really, New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg
No
was a
wonder.
scout? Okay.
I don't believe that. Well, not to discredit you, Phil, but that's...
Rumsfeld, Gates have been scouts. Okay. Presidential candidate Michael Dukakis have been Eagle Scouts. However, there is only one president to date that was an Eagle Scout. Ford. You know, I'm a little upset.
I thought there was more than
No, I'm taking a look at the list of names here. That does not really promote scouting in my book. I'm taking a look at the list of names
What
here.
happened to those people?
Holy shit! We got Bloomberg, Secretary of Defense, Rummy Rumsfeld, Robert Gates,
I got a letter.
candidate Michael. I can't stand this guy. The asshole that stuck his head out of the damn tank, looked like a complete dimwit, Michael Dukakis.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, that goofy bastard. And
Ran against
Dukakis
Bush
was
in 88.
illegal. No, I got half one yet.
No.
And it's been sitting here in
I'm
front, so
getting
it's
the
almost
buzz
like...
between the cigar and...
And only one president to date who's been an Eagle Scout, and that was Gerald Ford, Mr. Stumblebum himself. Man, it cannot walk a flight of steps.
Yeah, you can't hit a golf ball very well either.
Goody goo goo.
What the fuck does goody goo mean, Gus?
Your president's a Bigfoot, isn't he? His shades are pitched down.
Wait a minute.
I know where you're going. Save it for the next hour, because we got to take a break.
Oh, darn.
Yeah, I know where you're going with this. You shaved a bitch down. I thought of to speak. All right, we're going to take a little bit of a break. You're listening to Pennsylvania American Patriot Radio, Braveheart, 88.7 FM. We'll be right back.
Boy, that hour went fast.
Oh, shit.
It did.
But we did double our news output.
Wait a minute.
Let's see what we got here. All right. Hold on.
Heard that. Bring it up later, we'll vote on it.
Too late, it hit the floor.
We'll bring it to the floor. Oh, it's already there. All right. Let's see.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Nay.
Nay.
Mm.
Got any more good tweets? Twits?
They're trying to, I think they're trying to be, behave for the time being here.
They're talking about, on Ustream, they're talking about some kind of bullshit censorship.
Probably because they can't, because if you're watching on Squirrel Cam, you can't hear the music.
Yeah, we probably ought to remind people of that.
Yeah.
No, it's,
Something else?
Ustream blocks things that they deem inappropriate.
I suppose they blocked our story about the Boy Scouts.
No, I think it's
Anything to deal with us?
just, no,
Okay.
Electric Monkey, that's, Leonard,
Yeah.
just got an inappropriate flag for my opinion. I'm really curious as to what the hell is going on.
Can you go to Twitter and let us know what's going on?
I don't think Leonard is on Twitter.
Okay. I'm kind of curious as to what they flagged as inappropriate.
Yeah.
And who the hell's monitoring this?
Yes.
Who's monitoring?
We're the last people here that would flag anything as
We don't flag. Are you kidding me?
We don't,
Holy hell! What'd you tell me? No.
we don't even have a, we don't even have a call button.
What comes out of our mouth goes out of the air, folks. And we'll do a PBS in the top of the next hour, get that out of the way, and then we'll chew on this one.
Fag won't go through in chat.
Bagged. Well, we didn't mention.
All right. Let's see what will. If you're game, let's see what will. Let's try some other euphemisms. Try queer.
Yeah, try queer.
See if that works. I'm very curious to see just what will. Now don't
He has to put spaces between F and A.
It has a word recognition program.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I wonder how people in Great Britain get by with this, because fag in
It's a cigarette.
English is cigarette.
That's what they used to call cigarettes back here. When I was a kid, hey, give me a fag.
So you can get away with that now,
Mm-mm.
unless you're wearing a dress.
Or ruffled pennies.
Now, you keep picking on ruffled panties. I'm beginning to get upset with you. I find them quite comfortable.
Oh, I find them very alluring.
Exactly the reaction I was hoping for. Hey, at least I'm not wearing a thong today. The look of abject horror.
Alright, one of the trips.
I can't wear one of those anyway. Guys couldn't. Think about it. We leak. Fucking, it ain't gonna happen.
I went to one of the couple trips to the bathroom this afternoon, and I went in there and I have a floor-length urinals, and I said, no guy come in, and I says, this is where all the pricks are supposed to hang out. And he started busting out laughing. And he says, I haven't heard that for a long time.
What do we got?
We got to, we have to talk about the, Justin winning his case.
Thank you.
Yes.
PBS, then Justin.
Yeah, because
And then we'll get into this.
Chris is all over it, like a fat kid on a cup.
Well, I did mention, I was hoping that he'd call in tonight and give us an update. Yeah, we definitely got to do this.
Yep.
Thanks for the heads up, man. Thanks for the heads up, because with everything, with all the stupidity, it completely lost my mind.
Ustream is blocking swear words. No queer with about a dozen E's won't go through.
Mm-hmm.
Read between the lines.
No shit.
Shorthand.
Here. Read between the lines, right, guys?
Right here.
He's flashing gang signs, man. Yeah.
Thank you guys on Ustream chat.
Yeah, we definitely
helping
need
us
that
out.
heads up. That's information that we need.
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely.
We're still finding out the extent of what we can get away with. We're used to just letting it fly, but apparently they're monitoring the damn chat rooms. They're not doing anything with us.
They can't.
I wouldn't think.
Believe me, I've seen some of the stuff on Ustream.
Okay.
They're not going to touch what we do.
So all they're doing is.
That is an automatic word filtration thing that's going
I'm
on.
surprised that the multiple E version of queer didn't get through. I remember there's a few chat rooms I've been in where I'd use alternate symbols, you know, a 3 instead of an E,
Yeah.
and things like that in order to get away with it. Some of the gaming I used to do, where we had multiple participants and actually talk to each other. Don't do that much anymore. All right, now we'll definitely we'll do the PBS. We will talk about Justin and why we haven't heard from him, which I really wish I would have known something about it.
Me too.
But the simple fact that is good news, folks. It is good news.
Gus, the bitch is falling down the steps again. That's from Shep.
Oh, Lord Jesus, help me, I'm falling down the steps. My shoe! No. I'm halfway down the hall, boy. Yeah, anyway, I used to be able to do that perfectly.
Jack tweeted certain words like suck or blow won't go through.
Won't work on this cigar either.
Does that mean when somebody says the wind blows, it doesn't go through?
Apparently not.
From his latest album, Break Like the Wind. Anyway,
You did it again.
yeah, I know. It's a theme tonight. it's just.
You are thoroughly infected, my friend.
Yeah, I am. It's. I'll commit suicide later on tonight.
Can I have your guns?
He's taking them with him.
I ain't got enough room in the coffin for that.
We'll just get you a piano.
Congratulations! I've become a cash. You know, that's not bad. Make sure to
It'll be sealed.
It'll be
No
sealed.
moisture.
Nope. Just a desiccated corpse and enough firepower for a small unit. You know, I can think of worse ways to go.
Pat you on your skull when we bring it out. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you. We'll kill the son of a bitches. We'll exact vengeance on the bastards. We got time.
Close. Okay.
Yeah, almost there. Come on. Hurry up.
Certain words like suck or blow won't go through. So, if I was on there bitching about my sweeper, saying, "Man, this thing sucks,"
Mega Maid has gone from suck to blow.
and we're back.
Spaceballs. Yep.
Yep.
And we're back.
Does that mean we gotta turn the mics on again?
What the?
Turn them on again.
It's almost we turned them off the last time.
I did mine.
Asshole!
No, I didn't. I turned it off.
Asshole! This is general purposes. Doesn't matter if you did anything or not. I'm just getting it out of the way in case you do.
Okay, well. Preemptive strike.
Just putting it on account. On account of what? On account of he's an asshole! And so am I. Hey, asshole's a big family. There's a lot of us out there.
Yes.
Cousin!
Yes.
How do you know it, kick-ass?
Some of them are bigger than others. Just ask the Butt Sisters.
Is Michelle one of those?
Son of a bitch! We couldn't get out fast enough. Well, we'll let that one go for the time being. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, you got a good light. It's glowing in the dark as you puff away.
Laying down a smoke screen.
Chris, in response to your emails, yes, we are going to talk about that
And we're gonna
right after a quick PBS.
Get the quick.
The hell you say?
Now.
Tastes better going down.
Smoked sausage? I didn't have that for the last couple days. All right. No wonder I'm not losing any weight. My digestive system is screwed up. Anyway. Just making sure I've got everything in line that I want to do here. All right. We get the PBS. talk about that, and we'll get into this story if we've got enough time. Because this last one's going to take a little bit. All right, folks, we haven't done a proper PBS. This is the part of the program we don't like to do, but we're going to do it anyway.
Help! He quit too soon.
He didn't see my hand signal.
Yeah, I had it hidden behind the screen.
Anyway.
Why, every hour, on the hour,
Yes.
first hour, no words necessary. Second hour,
Yeah.
we started out not equally silly, but silly all.
Yeah.
And then this hour. What is it about?
So what's your point?
I can't help it. It's just, I am in desperate need of silly.
All kinds of it floating around here.
Oh, thank God. Maybe. Ja, man. Ja, man.
Yeah, man,
Did you
smoke
get
a
a
fat
winter?
What son of a boy? What the hell? All right. Still smoking. Anyway. All right. The PBS.
PBS.
This is the part of the program where we break out the begging board.
I haven't screwed that up in a long time, and I'm very disappointed.
I need more beer for that. Because remember I told you before? I was practicing to make sure I didn't. It was getting too often. It was getting, every day of the week.
Yeah.
I had FUD syndrome.
Yeah, you did.
And mostly his fault.
You were vocally dyslexic.
Yeah, just like the government, blame everything on me.
Pretty much. Yeah, big shoulders, you can take it. All right.
No word about Peter getting the big.
Donations to the station. Now, we've talked repeatedly about the amount of cash we've dumped into this money pit. It's become one. And normally, I don't get frustrated by this, but to be off the air as long as we've been, considering how long we were on the air with stone knives and freaking bear skins, and it still worked, it's frustrating as hell. Now, I realize we're heading to the finish line here. And all we have to do is wait for the last piece to come in, and hopefully by Monday, we will be broadcasticating once again. Yes, that's a word.
It is now?
It is now. I didn't have to finish it, did I?
Nope.
And it's going to be really great to see what our capabilities are once that gets back online, because we've got new shit everywhere.
New, better, and...
But remember, as we saw last week, the tower needs a V8.
Yeah, have you seen?
Yeah, it's got a little crick in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably because we've had some pretty good heavy winds up here.
I really thought we had her secured, but it looks like we're going to have to tighten up a few of the guy wires. She's definitely listing to starboard.
And that might be because the ground is frozen.
Mm-hmm. Trust me, I know what the hell I'm doing here. Marginally.
I know exactly what I'm doing, sort of.
That was going to be my next way of putting it. Get out of my head, John!
Can I say it?
Go ahead.
But I like it here. There's all kinds of room.
I had to let him do it. I actually enjoy it now. I had to let him do it. It's part of the gag. Fuck. No respect. Any respect at all. Now.
Did you expect to?
Occasionally. For like my birthday or something, it'd be nice.
It ain't your birthday yet.
It will be eventually. I get one every year, fucker.
I say that like it's a good thing.
I'm starting to send mine back after this year.
If I get to see another one, it's a good thing.
Well, that's true.
Let's think about that for a minute.
Yeah, you're right.
The donations, we definitely could use some financial help here. The electric bills are a never-ending battle. That's a constant, but we've dumped. I think by the time we're all done everything, we'll probably have close to $1,500 into putting the station back up, the broadcast section of it. We do thank each and every one of our listeners online. Without you, there'd be no reason for us to freaking show up.
That's it. That's what I was saying in the first hour.
Yeah.
You validate us. You make us feel like we make a difference. That's what matters.
And it's 90% of the gloom and doom we've been feeling is because of our local broadcast listeners giving us a raft of shit. Not all of them, but enough to make... fuck you. I mean, what the hell is... We've been begging and pleading for backup. None is showing up. And so apparently, we've gotten to the point where our local listeners are taking us for granted. And that kind of pisses us off. But I'm not bitter. Much.
And we warned them about that.
Yeah. So that was the extent of last week. The next rally we are going to do is still going to be our April 19th Patriots Day rally. Yes, the original Patriots Day, not what W decided to. I'm sorry, with all due respect to the victims of 9/11. Sorry, no, that ain't it.
It ain't your day.
April 19th, Diamond Park. Hopefully there will be another enclosed venue for speakers. We're working on this. This will be an open carry rally. All Braveheart Radio rallies from now on will be open carry. Bring whatever you got. If you got some really interesting shit, bring it. Stuff that you don't normally see.
Bring it, Skippy.
Easy. It's very good. Nice. Now, we are currently working on getting an old friend of Braveheart Radio's, Hagen Smith, to come up and speak. Do a Google search on Hagen. That's the best way to do it. I don't think we could really do justice to what he's all about.
Mm-hmm.
And to be perfectly honest, I'd like to have a little chance to talk to him and see what he's been doing with himself since he left our area. But he will be coming up to speak, if any. I'd love to get Brad Rowe to show up again to see if he'd want to speak to this rally. And for that, if we're going to have more than one, we definitely need to find an indoor venue. We'll be working on that. Make plans to be here. It's a Saturday. It is a Saturday. We get to do this on a weekend. You should be able to clear your decks, show up and join us. It promises to be a good time. Now, keep in mind, Crawford County, mid-April, it could be a mixed bag. We might have 3 feet of damn snow on the ground out there, or it could be golf and shirt sleeve, whether you can show up on a motorcycle. You don't know. You do not know. I'm not even going to hazard a guess at what it could possibly be. But we're going to be out in it one way or another.
Be like the old Boy Scouts. Be prepared.
No doubt. Now, tentatively, what I'd like to see is a speaking location somewhere in town where we can hold a rally, have our speakers, and then do an open carry walk from the speaking engagement to our town square, where the Tiny Bowl Blue ride will be torched once again. And we're currently working on dirtying one up so it'll burn quite well. We've got it taped to the floor at the gun show. And we only had to explain it to a few, and I had a couple of guys actually come up to me and shake my hand for it, which is very cool to see. I didn't have to explain it to them. Is that your flag on the floor over there? I said, way to go. Well done. Like seeing it. And
nice.
It was very good to see.
Yeah, and we're good for keeping our electric line down.
Yeah, we actually were able to throw an electrical line to the wall. We're not against the wall or towards the middle of the room, but once we duct tape the power cord to the floor and then put the Tiny Bowl Blue rag over it as a kind of a warning sign, hey, what's this? Well, there's an electrical cord underneath it. But go ahead and wipe your feet on that.
Keep the floor clean.
Yeah, exactly right. And we got a pretty good response from that. It was great to see. But the next rally for us is going to be April 19th. Now, if you know of anything in the area, and I say by area, within a 100-mile radius of what we're doing here, I think I at least will be able to make any one of those. I don't know if I can talk John into it. He gets a little skittish when he gets out of his own comfort area. And Daryl, depending on how he's feeling, somebody from Braveheart Radio should be able to show up for your rally. We need more people to get involved. We don't want to have to carry this all ourselves. And the open carry rallies, or just, the pro-Second Amendment rallies, the freedom rallies, needed an increase. They died off. There was a lot of it here last year, and we attended more rallies than we had in many, many moons. It was great to see. And we're going to be talking about one of them that we attended here that actually we scored a victory here.
Big one.
A big, big victory. And we'll talk about that here.
We didn't score it.
Well, we were there. We were part of it.
and we were part of it.
When I say we, I mean us as the Patriot community.
Yeah.
Okay? Because this isn't the work of any one person or any small group here. This is all of us involved together. And this is definitely a victory for us. And we're hoping to keep that momentum moving. And don't get complacent. This is no time for that. You are part of the resistance. So resist. With any means necessary, in any venue you can possibly arrange. And let us know. We will promote it. We'll show up. Should be a good time. So, if you have information on stories we've done in the past, if you have stories you would like us to try and cover, if you disagree with what we're doing here, FOD, alright? If you wish to donate to the station, either in the form of manpower, ideas, or financially, please send all written correspondence to Braveheart Radio, 13211 Laurel Drive, apartment 1343, Meadville, Pennsylvania.
Occupied zone number 16335.
Once again, Braveheart Radio, 13211 Laurel Drive, apartment 1343, Meadville, Pennsylvania.
Department of Defense Missile Targeting Code 16335.
That's also the zip code. No shit. Oh, that's for true. Now, got a couple of websites you want to check out. BraveheartRadio.net. If you're catching us tonight, that's probably where you started out. Tactical Squirrels will greet you upon your arrival and guide you into the rest of the site. And we still need to do a whole squirrel page, because there's been so much, and I'm hoping you've saved most of it.
Oh, I have every bit of it.
Because I want to see it myself. I really want to see what everybody's been able to find. John's got a site, a blog site you want to check out, Keystone 3. Google it. You'll find it. It's not hard. It's gained a little bit more traffic lately, and we're starting to pick up a few more other 3% blogs that are recommending us, which is kind of neat. Let's see. Our email addresses. We've got two of them. One has not really been utilized all that much. That is the original one, braveheartradio@hotmail.com. That is for poll questions and suggestions for the best of program. We used to do that for the second hour surprise music I would feature in the second hour. Kind of curtailed that a little bit, seeing as how Ustream is being complete dickheads about it. I'm going to find a way around that. I haven't figured out how yet, but I will. Let's see. If you need to get a hold of us with something that is breaking, that you think the rest of the Patriot community, the rest of the resistance needs to know about, drone sightings, MRAP locations, concentrations of POPO behaving badly, roadside checks that have no constitutional authority whatsoever, that sort of thing. You know what we're talking about. Places where direct action may eventually be necessary. Send them to John here at braveheartradio@gmail.com, and that'll get you right in here. Remember, folks, you've got access to a microphone. Use it. Use it. You've also got access to various points in the 3% community where your information will get out, and we share a lot, 3 to 3. Keep that one in mind. And if you wonder what I'm talking about, check out the gentleman, Google a guy named Sam Carradine, and you'll find out what that's all about.
Keridon.
Exactly. Let's see. Got that. One more thing, financial. If you're going to donate to the station financially, if you're going to send a check, either leave the payee blank or make it out to Daryl Civic. If you're going to send cash, please wrap it in something. Aluminum foil works good. We can patch our tinfoil hats. Otherwise, greeting cards. This time of the year, no Valentines, okay? Please. I don't think I can handle that. But it'll help decorate the inside of the booth.
Unless it's from Sandra or Mainly or something like that.
Shut up, dude. Just shut up. Just tempt me not, okay? Tempt me not. The idea behind wrapping the cash is to keep the unscrupulous types from seeing what you're sending through the mail and pocketing it for themselves. And of course, as always, gold and silver, greatly appreciated. Constitutional money! Seal of approval. There we go. That's a fantasy at this stage of the game. We'll never see it again. So you need to start stockpiling what you can with what you have while you can. All right. The victory, and we should take a victory lap on this one, seeing as how the originator, the guy who started it all, damn near died, from what I've been able to find out. It's one of the reasons why we haven't heard from him in a while. Mr. Justin Dillon from Open Carry, PA, decided to take on the city of Erie in their unconstitutional horseshit, where they denied the ability of the citizen to arm himself while walking in Erie public parks. Completely against the Pennsylvania Constitution and the Second Amendment to the United States Constitution. Now, there were a lot of open carry rallies last year, but this is the only one I know of that directly opposed the city, because Justin Dillon tried to get a permit to hold the rally. City of Erie denied it. We showed up anyway. Popo was there. Told us, you cross this line, you'll be breaking city ordinance. Ordinance, not law. Keep that in mind. So, we did it anyway. Held the rally. A handful of people were charged. Not everybody. They just wanted to make an example out of a few. Well, it went through several court cases. And John, I think you're a little bit more well-versed on that than I am.
Yeah,
Pick up the thread there.
It started out, we had the rally, just a little background, we had the rally, everybody pretty much ignored the police in their attempt to get information from these people.
Yes.
So the police started running license plates of every vehicle that was parked around Perry Square. And they eventually issued 7 citations for violating this city ordinance to people that were openly carrying their firearms, which was not unexpected. I mean, it was actually rather intended. You don't have standing to challenge a law until you're accused of breaking that law. So 7 citations were issued. It went to the district judge in the city of Erie. The citations were upheld, fines were levied. It was immediately appealed to the state, to the Commonwealth Court, I believe, and they refused to do anything about it. Then it went to the state Superior Court, and the state Superior Court refused to do anything about it, kicking it back down to the Commonwealth Court, and I believe I have this right. If not, I will be corrected, and I'll make said corrections later when I can. So the Commonwealth Court revisited the case, and long story short, the city of Erie was found to be in violation of 1, state law of preemption, which means, in a nutshell, Pennsylvania State Code says that no municipality may, in any way, shape, matter, or form, regulate the ownership or possession of firearms. And 2, they ruled it was against the Pennsylvania State Constitution. And 3, it was against the federal Constitution. The really neat thing was it was unanimous.
7-member panel. 7 justices. And they all said, "You boys are a bunch of assholes."
Yeah.
It was a judicial bitch slapping.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Before it went to Commonwealth Court, it went to County Court. And County Court sided with the city.
We knew that was going to be appealed.
I did forget that. County Court sided with the city, and then it went to Commonwealth.
Didn't the state call that justice onto the carpet for wondering what the hell he was thinking?
Off the record, they did.
Okay, yeah, well, that's fine.
Off the record, they did.
Yeah.
Again, the bottom line is the ordinance was struck down as unlawful and unenforceable.
Indeed. You would have to physically search every person going through every public park in the city in order to make it work.
Yes.
And that's a police state. No.
So the ordinance was struck down. The fines levied were thrown out, and as of yet, the city of Erie has not decided if they're going to appeal all the way up to the Superior Court of Pennsylvania.
Seeing as how it was 7-0 in the other decision, do you think they'd be stupid enough?
Well, probably not. Given the fact that it is common knowledge in legal circles, and it should be in civic circles as
Indeed.
well, that the Pennsylvania Superior Court has ruled numerous times in support of, in upholding the state preemption
Right.
that says municipalities hands off people's guns,
Happened down in Pittsburgh, if I'm not mistaken.
among many other places.
Yeah, that's the one that sticks out in my mind right now. But
So through the hard work of, oh man, cannot remember, Joshua Prince, a Southeast Pennsylvania constitutional, specifically Second Amendment attorney.
surprisingly came all the way up here in order to take the case.
And
And
through his
kudos to
tireless
him.
work and through the steadfastness of Justin Dillon
yeah,
in sticking this out, and because
Justin-
of people that donated to the cause.
indeed. Now, we're just now getting the information on this. Have not heard from Justin in quite some time. Why? We found out why. Justin damn near died. Apparently, he had a very serious battle with pneumonia where he was hospitalized and almost lost his life from it. And he's still not back up to speed yet. Don't really have a whole lot more information on his condition, but he got hammered hard. And so I would imagine the fight probably took a toll on him. Daryl's very familiar with what these kind of fights can do to your health. So once again, there is a sacrifice when you decide to be a resistor, even if you don't really understand it at the time. It is going to take a toll on you mentally, physically, emotionally. You have to decide what you're willing to do. Scored a victory on this one. Now,
Do not sit back and rest on your
no,
laurels.
No, absolutely not. Enjoy the victory, but realize this is just one battle. It continues. Find out where the problems are, seek them out, and attack. We have a tendency to either sit back and react, which is a loser's game, instead of finding the problem and heading the bastards off and attacking, especially when we know we're in the right. Go in with your facts and figures, have it down cold, don't stop. When you're about ready to fall, get back up, don't stop. If you think nobody else is going to, don't stop. We don't. We hope that you would feel the same way. Now, I hope that as soon as Justin is feeling up to it, we get him back here on the program, and he can give us a little bit more update from what we've been able to find out. This all comes, all the information we've got so far has come to us from our good friend Chris.
Yep.
Saw him at the gun show today, and he filled me in on what was going on. And once again, brother, thank you for the heads up, because we had no idea what was going on with him. We thought he'd abandoned the fight. And as it turned out, no, he was in a much more serious fight. Anything else?
That's about it. As soon as the city decides what they're going to do, we will pass that on.
Indeed.
But for right now, we have scored a victory. The ordinance is struck down. The fines are null and void, and...
This in a small, well, at the time it was called, Lexington Green for sure, because stared down the powers that be and they lost.
Yeah.
And...
Yeah, we did not merely jump up and down and wave signs. We openly and intentionally defied
This was
the law.
This was resistance. This was active defiance, and felt good.
Yeah,
It felt good.
even up until the final decision of victory for us, it still felt good because win, lose, or draw, we still did it.
Yeah.
We were still there, and we still stared tyranny in the face and said, no.
We're not going to do it. Now, man, I got several different directions my mind's going right now. I'm going to let it go for the time being. I had a couple different things that just, they all hit me all at once. It was encouraging to see. I would like to see more people step up where they can. Again, we'll be there when we can be, but don't rely on us. Rely on yourselves and fight back. We've lost so much ground. We have so much to try and reclaim.
Every victory is a sweet one.
Yeah, and this one, I was surprised. I'm just wondering how much more we can do if more people would get involved, if this becomes a serious active movement where you just say, not just no one, hell no.
You know, we want, like you said, we want a victory, but this is not the first time that we've had to do the same thing over again. Okay? It's happened in other cities. And it doesn't mean that it's not going to happen again, because another city, another city is going to come along and say, well, Erie lost, but I'm sorry, folks.
I would like to believe that, once again, another precedent has been set here in Pennsylvania. This program is going out to more than just PA. If you have the same problem going on in your state, get active. Don't just sit back. I know that it takes, people have their lives. I understand that. But if you would live free, you're going to have to start acting free. Most people don't.
There is a price to be paid for freedom. And the cost, the first and biggest cost is eternal vigilance. And sometimes,
more than that.
Sometimes that takes us out of our comfort zone.
All the time. All the time.
And what's it worth to you? What's it worth to you?
I'm going to find out who made this statement. It's quote, most men do not really desire freedom. All they really ask for is a just master. Take a look at the people around you and find out how many people fit into that category. How many would rather not live with the responsibility of living free? They really want somebody to tell them how to live, what to do, where to go, when to do it. It's a lot easier that way. It is much easier that way, because the responsibility falls off your shoulders and on the person that told you what to do, where to go, and how to do it.
I was just following orders.
Exactly, and that's not going to work anymore. If you would live free, then you're going to have to act free. And let's face it, we've got a couple of generations at least that don't have any clue what that means. Our young people, a couple of generations of our young people, do not understand the concept of being free. Somebody's always there to bail them out when they fail, or they won't even risk the possibility of failure, because, well, that's right, I can't. That's the 25, 30-year-old idiot that's living in mommy's basement wearing pajamas and drinking cocoa and talking about insurance. Sorry, that one, I really hate that one. But All right. When Justin is feeling better, we hope to hear from him and get an update on that. And we're going to be keeping our eyes out and see what else comes down the pike. Daryl, anything?
Nope.
John?
Nope, I'm
All
good.
right. Let's see if we got enough time here. We got maybe about 20 minutes before the end of the show. We've been talking recently with a lot of people at the gun shows and amongst ourselves, and I've been talking to people out on the highway about how this house of cards is going to come tumbling down. What could trigger it? What could cause us to actually have to step off the porch? All right, this is an email that Daryl got. And I'm not going to identify the sender. But I'm going to read through this and see how far we're going to get before the top of the hour. Obama seems to have his fingers into everything. I do question who this actually came from. Okay, this is this. Read it and see what you think. While some of you may dismiss it, remember, these old retired military guys have sources you will never have. When I asked my colleague, an Army colonel, why he thinks Obama is doing this, the reply I received from this long-life soldier and Army leader shocked me. Paraphrasing him, this is what he told me in a nutshell. He said most branches of the service routinely engage in war games and come up with strategies and tactics on how to handle every type of military conflict and scenario that can be imagined. One of the big new battle scenarios being actively discussed in the military is how to handle civil unrest in the U.S. and fighting in the streets. What will the Army do if called in to fight armed civilians in the streets of the United States? How will that urban warfare be conducted? Will troops be able to fire upon other American citizens when they have taken an oath to protect American citizens? We've talked about that for years. He said many in the military are discussing the very real possibility that Obama will attempt to stay in office beyond 2 terms. It is speculated that Obama will do this by declaring state of martial law. Now, the easiest way to declare martial law is when there is massive civil unrest and riots throughout the U.S. Thus, it is believed that Obama and his regime will intentionally create a situation of massive civil unrest. Gee, you think? Some believe that he is already starting to implement that strategy by forcing Obamacare on everyone when the populace did not ask for it and less than 300 people in power voted for it. Perhaps the administration is not too concerned over the totally dysfunctional Obamacare website and the additional fact that millions will be dropped from their existing insurance policies when they already hadn't liked. The administration may not care if getting health care becomes more difficult and more expensive because it is all leading towards civil unrest. It is believed by some that Obamacare will only get worse and worse, and that 2 and 3 years, when people have a very difficult time getting medical treatment for themselves or their loved ones, people will be enraged. We're already starting to see the beginnings of that, folks. We continue. Moreover, it is being speculated that around the same time when the frustration levels over Obamacare are hitting a critical point in 2 to 3 years, I suggest it's going to be sooner, there will be a glitch in the welfare payment, or EBT, payment system. We've already seen the beta test, folks. The tens of millions,
nearly 50 million on food stamps alone,
who rely on EBT handouts to sustain themselves will be cut off. The overwhelming majority of the EBT recipients, and hate me if you want, I don't care, are black. The Obama regime will then blame the glitch on the Republicans, who froze government spending, which forced Obama to suspend EBT payments. Obama will intentionally drive spending up and up, uncontrolled, knowing full well that one day the Republicans will be backed into a corner and finally vote for a freeze in spending. Obama will create heightened racial tension by telling everyone that the white Republicans are racially motivated and did this to hurt the black community. If you're that stupid, you deserve what you get. That's my comment. Take it for what you will. This manufactured racial tension, combined with growing tensions over the then collapsing medical coverage due to Obamacare, will result in race wars and civil unrest. People will take to the streets. Quick aside. Author Matt Bracken has stated the same thing independently. He's been talking about it for a couple years now. We continue. By the way, my colleague, the Army Colonel, who is telling me all of this, is black. He specifically commented and outwardly expressed his embarrassment about how blacks have become so dependent and enslaved by the welfare system and the Democrats that it would be very easy to create civil unrest and race wars merely by cutting off or dramatically hindering EBT payments for only a month or so. He believes that most blacks who have a misguided sense of entitlement will then take to looting stores and rioting. If you think this is impossible, I have you take a look at the knockout game. You think it's not easy to get these people to go nuts? Guess what? Not very difficult at all. We continue. Once the race wars, civil unrest, and violence become pervasive throughout the U.S., Obama will declare martial law and take over. The election can and will be postponed under martial law. My colleague noted that this possibility is clearly being analyzed and discussed inside the military because such a martial law strategy is nothing new. Tyrannical and dictatorial leaders in the past have done the martial law strategy many times. He noted that dictators such as Stalin, Mussolini, and Hitler did basically the same thing. He went on to say that one of the most recent examples of this strategy was when Marcos declared martial law in the Philippines from 72 to 81 due to civil unrest. Some of you young folks might not know what we're talking about. Google it. Use some Google food. We continue. The Philippines had democratic elections up until that time. When martial law was declared, the Philippine Constitution was suspended, its Congress dissolved, all elections were suspended, and Marcos remained in power for years beyond his elected term. I remember it very well.
Yep, me too.
The alleged terrorist bombings that occurred in the Philippines, which led Marcos to declaring martial law, have always been questioned and never proven to be the acts of actual terrorists. He concluded by saying that many believe this is a real reason behind the purging of military generals, which we've talked about here several times. The older members of the military, and especially its generals and leaders, tend to be more conservative, and they believe in the Constitution and following the Constitution. Thus, a tyrant and dictator needs to get rid of these military leaders before a state of martial law is declared, if the rising dictator wants the military to follow along and do what he says.
The current purge.
Indeed. Due to the loss of many experienced military leaders in the past few years, the military is now being run and guided by more and more by younger, inexperienced leaders. The type of military leaders who won't really know what to do if martial law is declared. Moreover, he noted that there's a growing mindset throughout the military that now that every soldier needs to keep quiet and just follow along with what Obama says and wants you to do, or you will be fired and your military career ruined. Again, I was told this is nothing new, since removing strong military leaders in advance of declaring martial law is a historically proven element of a rising tyrant and dictator. You've all been exposed to Obama's criminal activities and those of his regime. Benghazi, Fast and Furious, various other covert activities, all of which have been either outright approved or totally ignored by the so-called Congress of the United States and the Department of Justice, such as it is. These activities have been carried out with the full knowledge of the so-called leaders of the Congress, to wit, Senator Harry Reid, one of the most despicable human beings ever to hold office, and Representative Nancy, you have to pass this bill so you know what's in it, Pelosi, arguably one of the three dumbest women on the planet. Oh, the other two were also from California. Robert Boxer, Dianne Feinstein. How much you want to bet? Place your bets, gentlemen. Having said that, do you question any part of what we just described? Why else do you think these senior military commanders are all being sacked? Stay tuned, because the purge of the U.S. military isn't over yet, not by a long shot. And then he goes on to mention the purchase from Homeland Security.
See, guy,
He says here, 1.5 billion. We know it's quite a bit more than that. It's 2.6 at the very least, the last time we checked. Ammunition. Do you think they are anticipating a record deer or elk season? No, actually, more like moose.
yeah.
Okay,
Moose season, yes. All right. Why do you think you've heard, seen virtually nothing concerning Obama's, this one I'd forgotten about, FEMA Youth Emergency Response Team? You remember that?
Yeah, and they graduated their first class, I think.
And we had that story here. That was made public about 2 years ago, but they graduated their first class here recently. Group was formed with the express purpose of becoming Obama's personal SA, reporting to Obama personally. The question today is, how large has this organization grown in the shadows over the last 2 years? We need to check in on that. If you think this just can't possibly happen here, I challenge you to read the complete history of the Third Reich, starting in the very early 30s, and see how many parallels you can draw.
Remember,
Kids?
Hitler was elected.
Yep.
Everything he did was with the blessing of their government.
I don't think anything more really needs to be said, because if you don't get it by now, I can't help you. I told you before, folks, and this has been reiterated by many others. I'm just repeating what I think here. We're not voting our way out of this. We need to keep trying, but you know as well as I do, there are not enough principled people who believe in the Constitution and the rule of law to turn this around. There just aren't. Those who try are derided, smeared, shot down, and ignored.
Marginalized.
Easily. It's the same old song and dance. We have nobody to blame but ourselves. We've allowed it to get to this point because we've been apathetic. We had more important things to do. It was above our pay grade. I don't understand what that's all about. Oh, that's way outside my experience. I don't have time to pay attention to this. I check his voting record. He just looks good and sounds good to me. You get the government you deserve. We've bought and paid for exactly what we're getting. Now, it's one of the reasons why I said earlier, what have you done for liberty today? What have you done? You can agree with every damn thing we just said, but what have you done? Do something. Even if it's just informing a couple more people that you know they're sitting on the fence who don't quite have all the information. At least give them a fighting chance to see what's coming before it hits them right between the eyes. Get geared up and gunned up while you got the chance, because there's going to come a time where we're going to throw lead. Because it is better to die on your feet than to live on your knees. I have said for the longest time that one of these days, the government of my country is going to require something of me that I, in good conscience, cannot do. Or they will take something I currently cherish, and with a stroke of Obama's pen, as he liked to talk about here just recently.
I have a pen and a phone.
Pen and a phone. If Congress won't do it, I'll go around them. Unconstitutional fuck that he is. They will take me and turn me from citizen to criminal overnight. I will be told to cease and desist in my activities. In the words of my grandfather, I'll tell them to go pound salt. They will send their bully boys to enforce their unconstitutional edicts. I will resist and likely die. So be it. I guarantee I'm going to take a few of them with me. If that's all that's left to me, all right. Am I going to do everything I can to prevent that from happening? Whatever is presented to me. meantime, we're going to be right here, trying to spread the word as far and as wide as we possibly can, and hoping that some of you make it to the other side. Don't make it easy for them. Don't just stand there and wait for it to come. Don't stand there, bend over, and grab your ankles. That's basically what you're doing right now. Not all of you, obviously. We've talked about this before. But don't take what we're saying here and just dismiss it, because you know it's coming. There are those who will try to make themselves so small that they think that the evil will pass them by. You'll just be picked off last. Get ready for the worst, and pray for the best. Because when it all comes down to it, none of us are going to make it out of here alive. How you die is up to you. Gentlemen, any thoughts?
Just one thing. That email
Yeah.
just reiterated a lot of the individual stories that we've gone over in the past.
Yeah.
Especially this last year when we were watching the purges in that. And this is not the first military man to step forward and say this is part of the scenario. And this is probably not going to be the only scenario. They will use many, many, many parts. And
This one just seems to be the one that's most likely at this point. We could be completely wrong about how it's going to happen, but it is going to happen.
And it could be parts of many scenarios that they got that they're going to use. So,
We've already seen the beta test with the
right.
EMTs.
It worked for them.
We
as
see
well.
we see the purges in the military, which is textbook on how you get ready to take over. We fight back here and there. Again, the victory with Erie. Exactly. That was a small victory, but it was a victory. Find your stones. Fight back. Resist with every means at your disposal, by any means necessary. And I do mean any. Don't make it easy for them. Civil disobedience up to including armed resistance. Nothing's off the table, because it certainly isn't for them. Now, I'm the last one to really harp on it, but I'm working on it. Do your daily PT. If you intend to fight, go out and get some training. There's plenty of people out there to do it. Stockpile what you think you're going to need. Get it done now. God, we've been saying this for so long. And if you don't think that if you can't be on the front lines, then be somebody who's supporting us behind the lines. Because we're going to step off the porch. We're going to be the ones that meet on the green. We need somebody to take care of the wounded once they start coming back. Funnels of material. Intel.
Reload magazines.
That's saying that exactly. It all comes down to it. Think about what you can do, how you can help, and do it. None of us are getting out of this alive, folks. We've hit the top of it. Kind of a drag hitting a low note there. But I think we've compensated with enough silly for one night.
Boy. The first 15 minutes took care of the whole show.
Yeah, pretty much. Once again, Jefferson Fairgrounds, Jefferson, Ohio, tomorrow from 9 to 3?
Yeah, I think that.
9 to 3. Damn good gun show. If you don't have your supplies, get them. If you know of larger gun shows that are putting it up, go check them out. Send us some information on that so we can put it out. That does it for another one. And so, so until we see you next time, God bless the Republic.
Death to the New World Order.
We shall prevail, ladies and gentlemen.
We're on the march, they're on the run,
And don't forget to hug your rifle! We'll see you next time.
Thanks everybody on Ustream.
Thanks,
Really appreciate it, you
have
guys
a
are the
nice
best.
day.
Yeah, kind of interesting and,
We're gonna stay on for a little
let's
bit.
a little bit, I wanna check the comments because I know we missed some stuff there, but,
Yep.
thanks for checking us out once again.
Bye.
You wanna read a few comments there, Joe?